Hello everyone, I'm back again with another video. Today's video is regarding Linux commands. Okay, before starting, I would like you to show that I've created a file. Like in this file, I've included all the commands over here. There are around 100 commands. Let me just show it to you. Here you can see there are 102 commands, and apart from this, there are like basic navigation commands as well, like how can you navigate through the terminals and all. Including those, I have 102 commands. Okay. So before starting, I would like you to know that I provide the PDF link of this file in the description box. You can check it from there and download it. And after that, you can follow my lecture so that it will be easier for you to follow. Okay. Also, I'll add the timestamps as well. So you can basically jump to certain commands if you want directly and see the explanation from there. Okay. So now here you can see till point number 6, these are all navigation commands. Okay, like navigation means how you can increase the font size and decrease the font size. Then how to like go to the starting of the line and going to the end of the line. You can, all these are written in this 6 commands. So now let's begin. Okay, first I'll open my terminal and show it to you. Here you can see this is my terminal and it's very small font size. You can see over here. To increase the font size, I'll use the shortcut key, that is Control Shift and then plus. Okay, it will basically increase the font size. And if I want to decrease the font size, I'll use Control and then minus. Okay, it will decrease the font size. Okay, so I'll just increase it for now. Now suppose if I want to write some commands and I've made some mistake. Okay, suppose I am installing something. So what will be the command? So I write over here something like this, apt-get, and then the package name, something I'll just write here package name. Okay, and before writing this, I need to add a sudo command before this. Okay, what I did, I just used my arrow key and came to the first line of code, right? Then again I'll use my arrow key and this cursor will come to the end of this line. Okay, but there is a shortcut key you can use to directly jump to the starting of the command and also jumping at the end of the command. Okay, to place the cursor at the starting, what I'll use is Control A. Okay, so here you can see the cursor jumped from end to the start. To place this cursor at the end, I'll just use Control E. Okay, now here you can see I directly jumped from start to the end by using Control E. Okay, these shortcuts are very handy. And also there is another command, or you can say shortcut key, which is clearing the screen. Okay, suppose I have written some commands. I'm just writing this command again and again to just fill up the screen. So suppose I have written many lines of code like this and I want my screen to clear out. What I will generally do is I'll use this clear keyword or clear command. When I click this enter, you can see everything is cleared in my terminal. Okay. Also there is another command which is called reset. Reset is also similar to clear only, but it basically reinitializes the terminal itself. Okay. So now you will notice that when I click enter here, it will initialize the terminal, like it will again start the terminal. Okay. Let me click enter. Here you can see it's reinitialized and then it again started. Okay. But in case of clear, it did not like restart that. You can see it did not restart my terminal. Okay. Now let me show another shortcut over here. Suppose I am writing this command again and again. Okay, I'll just filling up the terminal screen over here. And to clear the screen, I am using a shortcut key which is Control L. Okay, if I use Control L, what it does is you can see it clears the screen. But notice one thing, it actually did not clear the screen. It basically brought the cursor at the starting of the screen. Okay. Here you can see I have this scroll bar and it is like halfway through. If I just scroll up, you can see my previous commands. Okay, so here are my previous commands. So it basically keeps the previous commands. It only forces the cursor to go at the starting of the screen. Okay, if I now apply Control L, I'm back at the starting. Okay, this way it will clear this terminal also and it will not erase the previous commands as well. So you can go back and like you can scroll your mouse and you can find the previous commands as well. Okay. So now coming to my first command. Before that, let me just clear my screen. The first command is uname. Okay. Uname is basically Unix name, or you can say the system name. Okay. So when I click enter, you can see it is showing Linux. I am using this Linux system, correct? So that is why it is showing this Linux. Now, if I write uname space -a, it will show everything, like all the information that is associated with the system. Okay. So -a means all. Okay. Now, if I click enter, here you will see it is showing the system name, host name, and also the kernel version. Okay. Also, you can see the kernel version by this command uname space -r -r. When I click enter, you will see this is the kernel version. Okay. So this is how you can get the system info with this uname command. Okay. Now next command is who am I. Okay. I'll write over here who am I. There is no space in between. Okay. And when I click enter, you will see it is showing me Aditi. Who am I basically gives the user, like the user who is using this system, who is logged into the system. That is the name this command gives. Okay. Here you can see this Aditi is the user, and after that this one is the host. Okay, like whichever machine I'm using, that machine name is written like this, like @ and then the machine name. Okay. Before this @ sign, this is the username, and here you can see when I'm writing who am I, it is giving me Aditi. So this is the username only. Okay. So if I write this command like who and then click enter, you will see you will get all the users who are like logged into this system. Okay. It will show all the users. So this is one user and this Aditi is also another user. It's showing all the users who are logged into this system. Okay. Now the next command is whereis. Okay. So it basically says or basically shows where a particular application is located. Okay. If I write whereis and then application name, suppose let me write Python 3. Okay, and then when I click enter, you will see it will provide all the paths. It is providing all the paths which has this Python 3. Okay, so here are multiple paths you can see. All these paths have this Python 3 over there. Okay, and suppose something is not present. Okay, let me write this like this. Where is something, suppose I'm writing a spelling mistake I'm doing, Python, not Python, I'm just writing Python. Okay. And if I click enter, it will not show the path. It will only show this name, application name over here. This means that it is not located in your system or it is not found in your system. That is why it did not give any path over here. Okay. If I write something like this, you can see where is Python 2. And Python 2 is not located in my system or it is not installed. That is why you can see it is showing no path over here. But Python 3 is installed in my system. That is why it is showing these paths. Okay. Now the next command is whatis. Okay. Whatis basically shows it shows the details about a command. Okay. So if I write like this, what is, then write uname, it basically shows what is this uname. It is saying print system information. If I use this uname command, it will show the system information. Okay. This is what this whatis command does. Now there is another command which is called id. Okay, it basically provides all the id that is associated or you can see that is present in your system. Okay, like the user id, then group id, and it shows every other id, whatever id is present in your system. Okay, if I write id and click enter, here you will see it is showing my user id. This is the user and id is this 1000. Okay, so uid is this and then group id is this. Okay, so there are many other IDs over here. So you can see over here, it basically provides all the IDs that is present in your system. Okay, let me clear this screen. And the next command is this man command. Man basically stands for manual. Okay, suppose you want to see what a command does or what is the manual for certain command. Okay, so I'll just write over here man. And then if I write uname and click enter, you will see it is showing this manual for this uname. Okay, like it basically shows the manual for the specific command that you wrote. Okay, it basically shows all the options and details about this uname command. Okay, and how can you navigate through this manual? You can click on this down arrow to go down, or you can click on the up arrow to go upwards. Okay, and once you're finished going through this manual, you can simply click on Q button, the Q alphabet in your keyboard, to quit this manual. Okay, I'm clicking on Q, the manual is gone. Okay, there is another similar command which basically shows the manual only, but it does not open a separate window like manual. It basically shows all the commands or all the details in the terminal itself. Okay, let me show you that as well. Let me write that command, that is uname space double hyphen and then help. Okay, now when I click enter, you will see all the details are present over here. Okay, and the details for this uname command. Okay, but everything is not here, so to go through a detailed explanation, you can go to this like inside the manual. Okay, now moving to the next command. Next command is uptime. Okay, uptime is nothing but like for how much time this system is up. Okay, so let me show it to you. If I write over here uptime and then click enter, so here you can see this is the uptime and it is showing like how many user is logged into the system. So you can see one user is logged in, so that is why it is showing one user. Uptime basically you can use when suppose you have something malicious work going on in your system and you want to check like from when this system is up and if other users are logged in or not. So that time you can use this uptime command and check how many users are logged in and from when the system is up. Okay, now let me clear the screen, and the next command is date. Okay, if I click on date, you will see it will show the date as well as the time. This is very helpful like when you want to check the date or the current day, like the day and the time, then you can use this date command. Okay, now next is this host name. Okay, now you can ask what is the difference between this system name and the host name. It is nothing, like it is same thing, but in case of host name, the host name is basically associated with the network. So like suppose if I want to identify the system, like the system name from networks or you can say from the servers, then that time we will be using this host name. Okay, the host name is nothing but the name given to the system. Okay, so if I write like this host name and click enter, you will see this is my host name, Ubuntu VB. VB is the virtual box. Actually, I gave this whole name. That is, I am using this virtual box, and inside the virtual box, I am installed this Linux operating system inside that. Okay, like this Ubuntu system. That is why I gave the name like this. So this is my host name only. That's why it is showing this Ubuntu VB. Okay. But the system name or the system is basically Linux. Okay, that is why when I write this uname, you can see the name is showing Linux. Okay, but the host name is Ubuntu VB. Okay. Now next command is hostname and then space I. I basically stands for IP address. Okay, like you can get the IP address from this. So I click on enter now. Here you can see this is the IP address. Okay, and note one thing, there is another command which will give the information about your IP. Okay, that is ifconfig. Okay, and it is not ipconfig, it is ifconfig. Don't get confused with the Windows operating system. That is because in Windows system, the command is ipconfig to get the IP address and other details. But in case of Unix system or Linux command or Linux operating system, it is ifconfig. Okay. If I click on enter now, you can see this is showing all the details about your IP. Okay, IP or the Internet Protocol. Okay, it will show the Ethernet details and it will show the system details like the net mask and inet and every other details is shown over here. Also, when you will type this ifconfig command, sometimes it will show error, like it will show that ifconfig is not recognized as a command or something like that. That is because you do not have the package, like the ipconfig package is not installed in your machine. To install that package or the network tools, you need to write the installation command to install the package. Okay, I'll just write it over here. You can see over here. So I'll write sudo. Sudo is nothing but you can say it is similar to admin privileges in Windows operating system. It gives the admin privileges for the time being, or you can say for temporary basis. Okay, if I write sudo and then write apt-get. Apt-get is nothing but you can say it is the tool which helps to locate the packages from the library and helps to install that package. Okay, so it is basically a tool, you can say. After writing apt-get, we'll write install. This is the command we want, right? We want to install a package. So that is why we are writing install and then the package name. The package name over here is nettools. Okay, this is the package name. So I have already installed this package. That is why it did not give me any error or something. But in your case, you will see that there will be a suggestion written over there, and that package name will also be mentioned over there. Okay, so if I just now click enter, you will see that it will ask for the password. Okay, so I'll just type my password over here, and when I click enter, it will start to install the package. Okay, but here you can see this package is already installed in my case. That is why it is showing that nettools is already the newest version. Okay, that is why I did not install it again. But in your case, it will ask for permission, like do you want to install this package or something like that. So if it shows something like that, click on Y and then click enter. It will basically install the package. Okay, now after installing the package, you can run that ifconfig command and it will show all these details. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. Now moving to the next command. Now the next command is ping. Okay, so ping is nothing but you can say it is used to check the network connectivity. Okay, or it is used to check if the system is connected to the internet or not. Okay, what I can do is I can write like this ping, and if I hit enter, it will show error. Okay, that is because after writing ping, we need to specify an address. Like we can give IP address or we can give any other like website address as well. Let me write and give you an example. So if I write ping and then if I write my IP address, that is 121.0.0.1. Okay. Now if I click enter, you will see it is like sending and receiving some packages. Okay. That is why it is showing this like this. Okay. Now if I just click Control C, it will stop the process, or you can say it will stop the responses, and it will show the summary over here. So here you can see it is saying 10 packets transmitted and 10 received. What are these packets? Packets are nothing but you can say a small unit of information. Okay, it is basically sent to the server, and if the server receives the information, then it will basically send a response. Okay, that is why 10 packets are sent and 10 packets are also received. That is why it is showing like this. This is how I checked that my IP address is connected to the internet or not. Likewise, I can check some URL also. Like if I write like this, ping and then write youtube.com and click enter. Also, you will see over here, it is sending me responses back. Okay, so this means that my internet is connected. Okay, and it is working fine. Now to exit this ping, I'll just have to click Control C. It will exit and show you the summary. So the next command is sudo command. Okay, already I told you about sudo command. So this is basically used to give like temporarily admin permissions. Okay, so if you want to, like if you are logged in from any other user, like you can see over here, currently I am logged in to this Adit user and I'm not logged into the root user. Okay, if I'm not logged in to the root user, then certain commands will not run, like it will be needing some admin privileges, correct? For that, either you should go to that root user and then execute certain commands, or you can use this sudo command and then run certain Linux commands. Okay, now the next command is this bang. Like this is the double bang operator, you can say. Like single exclamation mark is single bang, and double, if I write twice, then it is called double bang. Okay, what this command does is, let me show you an example. Suppose I'm trying to install Python 2. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll write apt-get install and then Python 2. Okay, What I'm doing is I'm trying to install this Python 2 in my machine, but it will not install because I did not give the sudo command over here. Okay, so now if I click enter, you will see you will get this error message. What is the error message over here? It is saying that could not open log file. This is the file path, and it is giving that permission denied. Okay, so that is because I am logged into some other user. Okay, so that is why it is not letting me install. But if I write this sudo command and then write the previous command, then it will run and allow you to install this Python. Okay, but I forgot to mention this sudo command before writing this command, right? For that, I do not need to write the whole command again. What I can do is I can simply write sudo and then give space and write this double bang sign. Okay. And if I now click enter, you will see I did not write this part of the code. It automatically written this part of the code, and before that it already included this sudo command. Okay. It basically adds the command that you mentioned over here at the starting of the previous command. Okay, so here you can see the previous command was this one. So it basically added sudo at the starting of this command. Okay, now it is asking for password, so I'll just provide password and then click enter. Then it will start installing Python for me. Okay, so it is now asking like if I want to continue with this installation or not. For the time being, I'll just write n, that is for no, and abort this installation. So this double bank sign is not only valid for sudo command only, it is valid for any command. Like if I miss out something, like if I miss out something to write at the starting of any code or any command, then I can use that command. Like if I want to write, I want to change my location, okay, like the file directory if I want to change, then what should I write? I should write cd and then the location, right? Like this. But what if I forgot to write cd? Then what I will do is I'll write like this. I'll just click enter. Now here you can see it is showing error. That is because I did not write the cd command here. What I can do is instead of writing whole path, I'll just write cd and then space and then double bang. And when I click enter, here you can see it rewritten the code for me and it took me to this desktop location. Okay. It basically works for any command. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. So now moving to the next command. So the next command here you can see that is the cd. Cd basically stands for change directory. I already showed you an example just few minutes ago. I'll just write it here again and show it to you. If I write only cd and click enter, it will basically take me to the root directory. Okay, like root directory for this user is home/aditi. Okay, so this is the root directory of this user. Okay, you can see over here this dollar sign means I am in root directory currently. Okay, so if I write like this also, like cd space tilde sign, this is the tilde sign. This also takes me to the root directory only. Okay, if I now click enter, nothing changes. Okay, so to show you the difference, let me first go to any other directory. I'll just write cd desktop, and inside desktop you can see over here I have another folder which is named as Linux tutorials. Okay, so I'll just write it over here, Linux tutorials, and click enter. I'm now currently in this Linux tutorials directory or folder. Okay, so now if I directly want to go to my root directory, I'll just type here cd, and here you can see it took me to my root directory. Okay, and again I'll go to the previous directory only. This is the one. Now if I write here cd space tilde and click enter, then also you'll see it is taking me to the root directory. Both the commands does the same thing. Okay, so here you can see root directory, like it takes you to the root directory. And the next one is this cd space hyphen. Before showing this, let me show you another command, that is cd space and then double dot. Okay, double dot basically means going one step back. Okay, like suppose first let me go to my previous directory. Like I am in this Linux tutorials folder currently. Okay, so what I'll do is if I write cd space and double dot and click enter, it will take me to this desktop folder. Okay, like one step back. If I write again cd space double dot, then it will take me to my root directory. Okay, So this double dot means it is going one step backwards. Okay. Now if I write cd space hyphen, this means that it will take me to the previous directory, not one step back. Previous directory means, let me show you an example, then it will be clear to you. If I click enter, you can see over here, this is my current directory. Okay, it is showing this root directory. This root directory is my home slash Aditi. This is the root directory. And after that, it is going to this desktop. Okay, and now if I write again cd hyphen, like cd space hyphen, and then click enter, you can see this taking me to this root directory. And if I again write something like this and click enter, it will take me to this desktop directory once again. And if I do it once more, you will see it is taking me to this root directory. What it is basically doing is it basically capturing the previous command, you can say, or you can say it is taking me to the previous directory, not the directory one step back, or the directory which is mentioned, like which I mentioned, it's taking there. Okay. Like, I hope I was able to make you understand. Let me show you another example, then it will be clear. So suppose now I am going to write desktop. Okay, so first I am going to this desktop directory. So I am clicking enter. So now I am present in desktop. Okay. Now if I want to go to this Linux directory, okay, so what I'll do is cd linux enter. Now I am in Linux directory. Now if I use cd space hyphen, it will take me to desktop. That is because I used this path, like this directory previously. It will take me to that. If I click enter, you can see currently I am in desktop directory. Now again, if I write cd space hyphen, it will take me to this Linux directory. That is because previously I wrote Linux like this path, okay, and not this home path. I've written this path. That is why it will take me to that Linux path. Here you can see I'm currently in this Linux folder. Okay. I hope it was clear to you. The next command is here. You can see I already showed you this command. That is, I'm trying to go to a directory or folder. Then what I will do, I simply write cd and then write the name of the folder. Then it will take me to that particular folder. Okay. So first let me go to my root directory. And now if I write cd desktop, okay, and also remember one thing, you need to write like be careful of the alphabets. Okay, like if I write like this desk and then desktop, it will give me error. That is because there is no directory with this lowercase d. Okay, I have you can see over here I have desktop written with this uppercase d. Okay, so if I now click enter, it will not show any error. That is because this shell or the bash shell has case sensitivity. Okay, so it is very important to note whatever alphabets you are using. Like if you are using smaller case, then you will write in lowercase only. And if you are using uppercase, you have to write in uppercase. Okay. So this is the job of this cd command. Like it basically takes you to the directory that is mentioned after that. Okay. Now let me clear this terminal. Now let me show you the next command. The next command is ls. Ls is nothing but listing. Okay, it stands for list. It basically lists everything that is present in the current directory. Like it will list all the files and folders, everything. Okay. So I'm currently in desktop directory, and now if I click enter, you will see it will only show Linux tutorials. That's because only one folder is present over here. Okay. And this home is nothing. It is basically the root directory. So it will not show that folder. It only shows other folders except this home folder. Okay. Now if I go back to the root directory over here and then type ls, then you will see all these folders are present in my root directory. Okay. That is why it is showing all these folders and these files. So these white ones are files. Okay. And these blue ones are all folders. Okay. Now suppose I want to see all the folders and all the files from the whole system. Okay, like not like what it is doing is in this case it is showing all the folders and files inside my root directory, or in the previous case it was showing everything from this desktop directory. Okay, but suppose I want to see everything what is present in my system. What can I do is I'll simply write ls space a. A stands for all, okay. And also remember one thing, when I am just writing this ls, then it is showing me the folders and files which is visible to us. It will not show the hidden files and folders, okay. But if I use this minus a or hyphen a, then it will show everything, okay, even the hidden folders as well. If I now click on enter, here you will see it is showing all these folders and files from here, but you can see there are some dots written over here. So this dot includes hidden folders and files. Okay, these are all the list of the folders and files present in my whole system. Okay, but notice one thing, it is only showing the name of the files and the folders. Okay, and no other details is shown over here. Like there is no details of like when the file was created or who created the file, or the size of the file is also not mentioned. Okay, so that what I can do is I can use another command, that is ls, and then write minus l or hyphen l. This L means a list, like you want the details of the files and folders. So that time you will use this hyphen L. Okay. Now when I click enter, you can see over here it is showing the permission also. It is showing the permission level, and it is showing who created this file. Okay, this is the like I created this file, so that is showing this name, my name, and this is the size of the file. Like 4096 is the size, and then July, this is the date and time. Okay, and then comes the folders and files name. Okay, it is basically showing everything in a detailed format. Okay, now let me just clear this screen. So now there is another command, like I showed you separately, like how to see details of the file, and then again I showed you how to check all the files that are present in the system, right? So I can do a combination of that. Like if I write ls space minus L and then minus again A, then you will see it will show you the details as well as the every file and folders that is present inside the system. Now if I click enter, here you can see it is showing everything. Like when I was writing only ls, like ls hyphen L, that time it was showing everything except this hidden folders, right? But when I am appending that minus a symbol also, then it is including this hidden folders details as well. Okay. Now there is another command which is ls space star. So what this star will do is it is similar to minus a, like hyphen a, but it will exclude the hidden files. Okay. Like when I'm using minus a, it will show all the files and folders including the hidden files. But in this case, it will not show the hidden files, but it will give all the folders and files present in the system. Okay. Now if I click enter, here you can see it is showing everything. Like inside this desktop directory, I have this Linux tutorials folder, and inside documents, I have nothing. And inside downloads, I have this file. Okay, so it is showing everything. But in case of if I write ls minus a, that time it will show the hidden folders and files as well. Okay, so this is the difference between two. And now I can specify a certain type of file also. Like suppose if I write ls space all, like this star sign, and then write .txt. What is this txt? Txt is the file extension. Okay, like what type of file it is, this extension denotes that, correct? If I write like this, it will only show the txt files that is present in the whole system. Okay, if I write enter now, it is showing cannot access this. That is because there is no files which is which is .txt format, or you can say there is no file present with this .txt extension. Okay. Now to show this example, let me create a file and then I'll show it to you. So let me create the file in the desktop directory. So I am currently in desktop now. Now I'll write touch file1.txt, and again I'll write one more file, file2.txt. Okay, this is how you create a file, and I'm just creating multiple files like this and click enter. So now here in the desktop you can see two files are created. Okay. Now when I want to see the files that are present with the .txt extension in my desktop directory, what I'll do is I'll write ls space star and then write txt like .txt. Okay, and when I click enter, you can see all the files that are present is showing over here. Okay, now the next command is ll. Ll stands for basically long listing. Okay, this long listing is similar to writing ls space minus a. It is the same thing. I can show you like this. You can see when I'm clicking enter, you can see it is showing the file permissions as well as the name and size and other details also. And when I write ls space minus a and click enter, if I write ls space minus a and then minus l, then you can see it is giving the same result. Okay, it is showing the details of this hidden files also. It is showing the details of this non-hidden files also. Okay, here you can see the total is 12. This is also 12. So it is basically similar to writing like this. Okay, instead of writing these many alphabets, you can simply write ll. It will show the same result. Okay, this is what this long listing does. Okay, so here you can see long list the files and folders. It basically shows all the lists and files and folders along with the details. Okay, shows which one is file and which is folder, including hidden files. Okay, and it also shows the permissions as well. Okay, now the next command is ls lthr. Okay, so these are like you can say, if I write something like this, ls and then minus l. L stands for a listing, like long listing, and then T is for time. Okay, like when the file was created, and H is for nothing but you can say it's the size. Like here you can see 4096. This is the size in blocks. Okay, so if you want to see the file size in human readable format, like what do we read? Like we read in megabytes, kilobytes, or gigabytes, right? If we want to read like that, then we can use this h command. Okay, and after this h, if I write r, it will basically show the files and folders in a reverse order. Okay, like here you can see it is showing in the ascending order, and if I write r, it will basically sort it and then show it in descending order. Okay, so this is what this lthr means. Okay, like I'm writing everything together. Okay, so this is how it is written, and if I now click enter, here you can see it is showing in kilobytes, and this is sorted also. You can see over here it is in reverse order. That is why this file 1 is coming at the last, and then this file 2, and then this l. That is because this l comes afterwards after this f alphabet, right? That is why it is showing at the first, because this is in the descending order. Okay, now if I only write this and remove this r, then you will see it is sorted in ascending order. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. Now let me just clear this screen and move to the next command. The next command is mount. So mount is nothing but you can say, if I write this command, it will show all the file systems that is present in your system. Okay, so let me just show it to you. If I write mount and click enter, you can see all the file systems present in my system is showing like this, but it is very haphazard. You can see over here. You can organize these files also. Like what I will do is I'll write mount and then space and then give this like this this long slash sign. I don't know what this is called, so I'll just saying it as a slash. Okay, and after that write column, column column. It will show in column format, and after that write minus t or hyphen t. Is for tab, so it will basically give some tab space and then start the next column. Okay, so now if I click enter, you can see it is now arranged in column format. Okay, but it's still very hazy, or you can say it's very haphazard. If I just decrease my font size and increase this window, then you will see it is now better. Here you can see it is arranged in this column format, and it has given some tab space over here also. Okay, this is how you can check and see the file systems present in your machine. Okay, now let me just increase my font size and decrease this window. So I'll just clear this console once again. Now the next command is pwd. Okay, so pw is nothing but it's the short form of present working directory. Okay, so it basically shows you in which directory you are currently in. Okay, so here you can see I'm currently in desktop directory, right? If I write here pwd, it will show me the path. So here you can see inside this root directory is this like Aditi is the root directory. Okay, I'm basically in this root directory inside this desktop folder. Okay, now if I go back to my root directory now and then type pwd, you will see it will show this root directory. Okay, this way you can know like which directory you are currently working. Now the next command is touch command. Okay, so just now I showed you this touch command. It's nothing but it basically shows you or helps you to create files. Okay, so if I write like this touch, and then the syntax is writing like this. First you will write the command and then you will write the file name. Okay, so I'll just write here a new file and then I'll give it txt.txt file and then click enter. Then you will see this file is created in root directory. Okay, so I am currently in root directory, that is why it is created in root directory only. Okay, now if I just do ls, then you will see this new file.txt is present in that root directory. Okay, similarly I can create folders also. Okay, so for creating files I am using this touch command, and to create folders I'll use mkdir command. Okay, mkdir means that mk means make and dir stands for directory. Okay, so it is basically make directory or create directory. Okay, don't get confused with this directories and folders. That is, in Linux we are saying directories. Okay, like it is same thing as folders. Okay, like in Windows system we name these directories as folders, and in Linux operating system it is like the folders are said or named as directories. Okay, so when I'm saying directory, it means folders only. Okay. So what you will do is you will write mkdir and then the folder name. Okay. So I'll just write here new folder and then click enter. This folder is created inside my root directory. Okay. So now if I do ls here you can see here is this new folder. This is the folder that I created. Okay, you can see in the previous ls this was not present, but after writing this mkdir statement the folder is being created. Okay, now I created files and folders, but suppose I want to delete them, then what should I do? I can use a command which is known as rm. Okay, rm means remove. If I write rm and then file name, what was the file name? The file name was new file. Okay, if I write that, sorry, this was a new file, not folder. If I write that, it will basically delete this file from this root location. Okay, if I now just enter and check the ls, you can see this new file.txt is not present in this folder. Okay, also I can remove or delete folders as well, but instead of writing rm I'll have to write rmdir. Okay, so it stands for remove directory. Okay, after writing rmdir, I have to specify the folder name. Folder name was new folder. I'll write like this and click enter. And now if I do ls, here you can see this folder is gone. Okay. I hope this was clear to you. Now here you can see there is another command which is called chmod. Okay. So it is basically used to give permissions to a file or folder. Okay. When I was showing you this ls command, remember like when I am doing like this, ls space -l and click enter, I told you these are the permission of the file. Okay, this is what I can change. Like I can change the permission as well as the permission level by using this chmod command. Okay, so I have explained this each and every alphabet. Like what does this mean? Like at the last, like at the end of this file. So here you can see I have mentioned it over here. If you go down here I have written the whatever is meant, I have written over here. Okay, we basically have three types of permissions. Okay, so here you can see the first one is read and then write and then execute permissions. Okay, so read is denoted by r. Here you can see this is the r, and write is denoted by w, and execute is denoted by x. Okay, so we have these three types of permissions. Now this is the syntax. Okay, like I'll explain you what this means. Here you can see this syntax can be divided into three parts. Okay, like this part can be divided into three types. Okay, like three parts. The first, like the first letter, that first letter denotes that the file is a file or it's a folder or anything else. Okay, if it is written D, so D means, you can see over here, D denotes what type of file it is. So D means directory, and if I write something like this hyphen, this hyphen will mean that it is a file. And if I write S, then it is a special type of file. Okay. If I just go back to my terminal, here you will see this D is folder. Okay. So I already told you that these blue ones are folders. You can see beside these folders, all the first letter are D. That means it's folder. And for this file, it is hyphen. Okay. By seeing the first character, we can determine if the file or whatever is contained in that directory, it is a folder or it is a file. Okay. Now this part, can be divided into three parts. The first part here you can see is RWX. RWX means the person has read, write and execute permissions. Okay. And if I write like this, like if I write R and then hyphen and then X, that means that the person has only read and execute permission. But this write permission is revoked. Okay. So that is why we are writing like a hyphen over here. Okay. So here you can see, so the first part, the first RWX part is for the creator or the creator of the file, okay, or the user, you can say. Here you can see that denotes the permission for the creator of the file, okay. And the next one is like the next part, this R hyphen X. This part is for other groups, okay, like the groups present inside the system. Okay, like there are many groups present inside system. You can see like when I am using this sudo command, so I can use this sudo command. That is because I am present, like the user, that is the Aditi, is present in a group. Okay, that group has given me that permission to use that sudo command. Okay, there are multiple groups like that. So whatever groups are present in your system, that group's permission is shown in this second part. Okay, in the last part, like this last Rx is for other users. Okay, like a system can have multiple users, right? So whoever logs into the system, this last part shows the permissions given to the other users. Okay, if I write here only R, then other users can read only the files and not write or execute that is present in my username. Okay, like I have created this file 1.txt in my Aditi home directory, right? Like inside the home directory, I have this desktop folder, and in that desktop folder, I have created this file 1.txt, correct? Now, if I log in with another user, okay, suppose user 2, okay, so what I will do is, if I want to access this file, I will be only able to read the file and not write or execute that. Okay, so this last part denotes what type of access the other users have. Okay, so here you can see this is for other users who might log into the system. Okay. Now also you remember while I was showing this ls command, I told you these are the permission levels. Okay, so this is what it is written over here. Okay, so here you can see there are three types of permission levels. There is 1, 2 and 4. So this 1 denotes execute permission. Okay, execute stands for X. Okay, so X basically stands for execute. If there is a 1 written in the permission level, that means that the person has only execution right and no other permission is given to that user. Okay. Similarly, if there is 2 written, then he or she will have only write permission. And if 4 is written over there, then it will mean that the permission is only read. Okay. And he or she cannot do execute or write. Okay. But here you can see in this terminal, this 3 is written, then this 6 is written. But in this permission level, there is no 3 or 6. What are these? These are basically, you can say, summation of all the rights or permissions. Okay. So here you can see, if I just scroll down, here you can see if I write 7, 7 means giving all the permissions. Like the user will have read, write and execute permissions. Okay. How can I define that, or how can I identify? Like you can see over here, if we add up these three numbers, it will sum up to 7. Okay. So that is why it means that the permission is all. Like the user has all permissions. And if I write 5, 5 means only read and execute permission. It cannot be anything else. That is because like the possibility of summations result being 5 is only 1. What I mean is, if I try to add 4 and 2, it will never give 5. But if I add 4 and 1, then it will give 5. Also, I cannot add 2 and 1 and it will not give me 5. It will give me 3. There is only one way we can get 5. Okay. That is only this 4 and 1. And what this 4 and 1 denotes? It denotes read and execute permission. Okay. That is why we are writing 5 directly. Okay. And 6 is also same. I cannot get 6 in any other way except 4 plus 2. This means that the user has only read and write permission. Okay. You can see the syntax over here. This is how the permission is given. First we write the command. The command is chmod. Okay. And after that we give this permission. This first number, or the first number, denotes the permission for the user, or you can say the creator of the file. Okay. Second permission denotes the permission which is given to the certain group or in the group you are involved in. Okay. And the third one is for the other users. Like what type of permissions you want to give for this type of file to the other users who might log into your system. This is how these three things are written all together. Okay. And after giving these permissions, then the file name is specified. Okay. Let me show you an example, then it will be clear to you. Let me clear this. So now let me go back to my desktop location. Now let's see what permission I have for this file 1 and file 2. Okay. For that I'll write ls space l. Here you can see file 1 and file 2 both have this read and write permissions. Okay. Like this first part denotes that the user has read write permission and no execution permission. That is because this file cannot be executed, right? Suppose there is some .exe file, or suppose any other file which can be executed, that time we can write over here X. What it will do is it basically gives you the permission to execute that file as well. Okay. Then the second part here you can see it is rw and then hyphen. What does this mean is all the groups will have this rw permission and no execution permission. Okay. And for other users you can see the other users only have read permission. There is no write or execution permission for the other users. Okay. Now what I will do is I will change all these permissions. Okay. What I will do, I'll write chmod and then give 7 to everything. Like all of the users, groups and other users will have all the permissions. Okay. If I write like this 777 and then write the file name, so I'll just give the permission to the first file, file1.txt, and click enter. And now if I do ls, you will see over here ls space hyphen l, you will see all the permissions are rwx. That is because I gave this number 7 to every group. Okay, like user also has 7, the groups that are present in the system also has 7, and the other users will also have the 7 permissions. That is, they all have all the permissions. Okay, this is how you change the permission of certain file. Okay, now moving to the next command. Now the next command is rm, that is remove file. The next command I already told you that how to delete a file and a folder by using this rm and rmdir commands. Now moving to the next one, that is the vim. So vim and this nano, these both are editors, okay, text editors. What you can do is if you want to edit any file, then you can use these two editors and then you can edit the file. Okay, let me go to the terminal and show it to you. If I write over here vim, so vim is the modified version of vi. Okay, so vi was the text editor, now it is modified and that is why it is named as vim. Okay, so if you write vi and then the file name also, then also it will work. So for now I am just writing vim and then the file name. suppose I want to edit this file1.txt. Okay, I'll just write the file name over here, file1.txt, and click enter. Okay, now here you can see this is the Vim editor. Okay, but in your case, like if you are trying this for the first time, then you might get an error that Vim is not recognized or something like that. In that case, you need to install Vim, and then only you will be able to edit with this Vim editor. Okay, let me just quit this Vim editor and then show it to you, like how can you do the installation for the Vim. Okay, so let me just quit this. Okay, so now to install the Vim, you need to write like this: sudo and then apt-get and then install, and then the package name is Vim. Okay, to write this and click enter, it will start to install the package for you. Okay, so let me give the password for my admin privileges. So now when I click enter, you can see over here it's installing, but it's already installed for me. That is why I did not ask for any other permissions or anything else, and it already says that Vim is already installed. The newest version is installed in my system. But in your case, after installing this Vim, you can write the command Vim and then the file name, and then your Vim editor will open up. Okay, let me open the Vim editor like this. This is the Vim editor, and to like navigate through the Vim editor, you have certain commands. Okay, so suppose you want to type something in this editor, then what you will need to do is you will need to click on I, alphabet I. Okay, it basically is now in insert mode. Okay, here you can see it's showing insert. Now I can start typing over here. I'm writing over here, this is using Vim editor. Okay, so now to save the file, save and exit, what you need to do is you first need to click on escape button that is present in your keyboard. Click escape, and after escape give colon. Okay, like these two dots here you can see I've given colon, and after colon write W and then Q. Okay, W for save and Q is for quit. Okay, after you write this, then click enter. Okay, now the file is saved and then quit. Now you are back in the terminal. Okay, now the file is edited. So if you want to check if the file has the contents you written in the editor or not, for that you can use this command, that is cat and then the file name. The file name is file1.txt, and now when I click enter, you will see the contents of the file. So this is what I written in the editor, right? This is what it is showing. Now there is another editor which I use, which is my favorite, that is the nano editor. Okay, to use the nano editor, you need to write like this. Like you first write the editor name and then the file name. Okay, this file1.txt. Now when I click enter, it will take me to this nano editor. Okay, so this is the UI of the nano editor. So here you can see I can simply start writing, but let me bring the cursor here. Like you cannot use the mouse to point to a certain place. Okay, you need to use the arrow buttons that is present in your keyboard. Okay, so I'll just write over here, this is using nano editor. Okay, and to save the file, it is very simple. You just need to click Ctrl S, and here you can see it written wrote one line. That means the file is saved. Okay, also if you want to like save the file with certain name, for that you can click on Ctrl O. Okay, so here you can see these are all the shortcuts. So this arrow means control. Okay, so if I click Ctrl O, then it will show the file name over here. Okay, so you can edit the file name over here and then click save. Okay, like after writing the file name, you need to click enter. Again, it will show wrote one line, that is the file is saved. And after saving, you need to quit the file. So quit the file, you can see the shortcut over here, that is Control X. Okay, I've quit the nano editor. So now here, if I want to quit the content, I'll simply write cat and then the file name, that is file1.txt. And after that, I'll just click enter. Okay, so here you can see the file content is changed. Okay, I hope this was clear to you, like how to use the editors to edit the files. Okay, now moving to the next command is echo. Okay, so echo is similar to, you can say, if you have learned programming languages like C, C++ or Java or Python even, then there is a function called printf. So what does it do? It basically prints whatever is written inside that function. Correct. So this echo is also similar to that only. Like if I write over here echo and then suppose let me write, hey, this is Aditi, okay. And now if I click enter, it will simply print whatever is written after echo, okay. I can put inverted commas inside that also. I can add anything. It will print the same thing. Let me just show it to you. If I write hello world inside this inverted commas, it will do the same thing. You can see it again printed whatever is written inside this inverted commas, okay. Similarly, if you use printf functions and you want to display the contents of a variable, then what you do? You generally address that variable, and then the value that is stored inside that variable is shown to you. Correct. So that is the same thing we can do with this echo command also. Okay. So let me just show it to you. Suppose I am declaring a variable. First, let me clear the screen. And here I am declaring a variable, suppose num, okay, and I am going to assign 80, value 80 to this num variable, okay. And now when I click enter, it does not give me an error or anything else. And now if I just write echo, and how will I address that variable? I'll use this dollar sign, okay, and after this dollar sign I'll write num. This means that it wants to print the value that is stored inside this num, okay. And now if I click enter, it will show the value, okay. It just showed 80, which is stored inside this num variable, okay. I hope this was clear to you, like the use of echo command. So now moving to the next command. Next command is cat command. So I have already showed you this cat command, so I'll just explain it to you now. Suppose if I want to see the contents of any file, okay, so that time we can use this cat command, okay. So cat basically stands for concatenation, but here you can view the contents of the file. Also, there are many other functions of this cat. Like you can even override the contents of a file, or you can merge two contents of the file into a third file. There are many other ways like use this cat command, okay. So before that, let me just show you the basic usage. That is, if I write like this, cat, and then a file name. Okay, so I'll just open this file one only. So I write over here, file1 dot txt, and then enter. So here you can see it is showing the contents inside this file1 dot txt file. Okay. Similarly, next command you can see over here, it is written cat and then given this like greater than sign, and after that the file name. Okay, so if I write like this, or if I even write like this, like cat, after that a file1.txt, and then I'll give this sign and then again write file2. Okay, so what it will do is it will basically override whatever was written in this file2 with the contents of file1. Basically, you can say contents of file 1 is going to contents of file 2. Okay. Let me just show it to you in the terminal. You can see the file 1 contains this line. Okay. Now let us see what does file 2 contain. I'll just write file2.txt and click enter. Here you can see nothing is inside this file 2. Okay. So what I will do now is I'll basically write whatever is written in this file 1 inside this file 2. Okay. Writing like this, cat, and then file1, and then I'll give this greater than sign, and after that I'll write file2. Okay, and now if I click enter, it is already copied inside this file2. Okay, now let's just see what is there in file1. File1, enter, it's the same thing. And if I now see the file2 contents, if I write like this and click enter, so here you can see file 2 has also the same thing. Okay, it did not overwrite now because file 2 does not have anything inside it, right? Now if I try to like overwrite things, what I can do is first I'll edit the file 1. Okay, let me just show it to you. If I just write nano file1.txt and click enter, and here I'm just writing suppose what I'll write, I'll just write file2. Let me just delete this first. I'll just write file2 inside my file1. Okay, and I'll click save and then exit. And now let me just show you the contents of file1. So it has file2 written inside the file1. Okay, Now if I write the previous command, I'll just use my up arrow key to write the previous command. So this is the command, right? Now notice one thing, that file 2 has this line written, like this is using nano editor. This is written inside this file 2. Okay. And inside file 1, file 2 is written, right? If I write like this again, then this file 2, whatever content it had, it will be overridden. Okay. Let me just click enter. And now if I see the contents of file 2, you see the line which is written in the file 1 is overwritten. Okay, like the file had this line previously, right? Now it has written file 2 inside it. Okay, basically overwrites whatever was written inside the file. Okay, now the next command, you can see it is similar to the previous one only, but you can see there are two double sign, like double greater than sign written over here. Okay, what does this do is it basically like adds, or you can say appends the contents and does not overwrite. Okay, it is similar to the previous one only, but it basically appends and does not overwrite. This is the difference. Okay, let me just show it to you, then it will be clear to you. So in this, let me see what this file 1 have. So it has file 2 written, correct? I'll just change it. I'll write file 1 tab and then open it. And now I'll write here file 1 inside my file 1. Okay, and hit save and then exit. And now let's see the contents of file 1. It has file 1 written inside it. If I check the contents of file 2, it will have file 2 written inside it. Okay, now let me just clear the screen and let me just run that previous command, which is this one. And this time, instead of giving single greater than sign, I'll write one more. Okay, this is called double greater than sign. And after writing like this, I just click enter. Okay, now let's check the contents once again. Okay, I'll write file1.txt. It has file 1 written inside it. And now if I check the content of file 2, you will see the content is not overwritten, okay, but it is appended. Like this line, the file 1 line is added in the file 2. But this file 2 is already written inside it, and it is not like erased or like deleted. It is not overridden, okay. I hope this was clear to you. Now let's see the next command. So before going to the next command, I just missed out this one, like the point number 50. The point number 50, you can see this way we can do contents merging. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, if I write like this cat and then suppose file1.txt and then give a space and then write the file2.txt, and then I'll write the single greater than sign. Okay, after writing that, I'll give the third file name. Okay, inside the third file, contents of file 1 and file 2 will be merged and kept there. Okay, so I'll just write the name as file merge. Okay, merge.txt. Okay, now when I click enter and let's see the contents. First, you can see over here this cat command, what it did is it first created this file. You can see this file merge is created and stored in this desktop location. Okay, and after that it merged the contents of these two files and stored in this file. Now let me show you the contents inside this file merge. So I'll just write like this and click enter. So here you can see both the contents are merged. So basically this file 1 had written this line of code, that is file 1, and file 2 had these two lines, correct? That is why it is showing all three all together. Okay, it is basically merged and then stored. Okay, now moving to the next command, that is a cp command. Cp basically stands for copy. Okay, so if I write like this cp and then file 1 and file 2, what it will basically do is it basically copies the contents of file 1 in the file 2. Okay, so let me just show it to you. Suppose I'm writing like this cp and then file1.txt, and then I'll write the second file, that is file2.txt. Okay, and when I click enter, now let me see the contents of file 1 first. Okay, I'll just write file1.txt and enter. It has file 1 inside it. Now let's check the contents of file 2. and when I click enter, you will see it also says file1. That is because the cp command copies the contents of file1 to file2, but it does not append the content. It basically overwrites it. Okay, so that is why it is showing file1 and not file2 and file1. Okay, this it overrides the content. Okay, so I hope this was clear to you. Let me just clear this screen. And the next command you can see over here. Next command is similar to the previous one only, but this is a way you can say you can run 2 to 3, or you can say multiple commands in a single line. Okay, so here you can see I have used this semicolon, and in the second line also you can see I have used this ampersand sign. Okay, so this both basically does the same thing. It has the same job to do, but I'll just show you the difference, like when to use what. I'll just write over here at file1.txt, and I'll give a semicolon this time, and I'll write cat file merge. I'll write, okay, just to distinguish the contents. Okay, so that is why I'm writing like this, file merge.txt. Okay, now when I click enter, you will see it showed the contents of file1 first, which is this one, and then it ran the second command also and showed the contents of file merge. Okay, so this is the content of file merge. So this is why it showed one after another. Okay, if I use this ampersand sign now, let me just use my arrow key, and instead of giving semicolon here, I'll use ampersand twice. Okay, now when I click enter, you see it does the same thing. Okay, it basically ran the command in the single line only. Okay, but now suppose instead of writing like this, file1, I'll write file3. Okay, and notice one thing, file3 is not present. Okay, like it is not created also. Okay, and like it should give error when running, right? And after writing this, I'll use this semicolon over here. Okay, and when I click enter, you will see it is giving an error. It basically gave error in this first line of command. Okay, but even if it gave error, it did not stop execution of the next line of code. Okay, it basically ran the second command. Okay, and it showed output over here. But in case if I write like this, suppose instead of giving this semicolon, this time I'll use a double ampersand sign and then click enter. Now you see it gave error in the first line, but it did not execute the second line even. This is the difference between these two commands, you can say. Similarly, if I write like this, suppose I written like this, instead of writing file3, let me just write here file1, and here I give another ampersand sign, and here I'll write file3. Okay, file3.txt. Okay, what it should do is it should first run this first line of command, this first file1 command, and then it should give error, and then the last line will not run. Okay, let me just enter and show it to you. Here you can see it ran the first command first. As soon as it got error in the second line of command, it simply gave an error and did not execute the codes further. Okay, so this is what this ampersand does. But instead, if I gave like semicolon instead of this ampersand sign, then it would run all the commands even if it had an error. Okay, I hope this was clear. Okay, now let's just move to the next command. But before that, let me just split my screen. So, okay, let me do this. And for this, I'll move it to my left. Okay, now let me just clear this screen also. And the next command is move command. Okay, move command also has a multiple usage. Like mv means move. Okay, you can move file or folder with this command, or even you can rename a file or folder. Okay, so the first command is to move the file. Okay, so let me just write it over here, but let me do an ls. Okay, so that way you will know like what do we have in the current location. Okay, so here you can see in this desktop location I have these two files, file1, file2, and file merge also, and I have this Linux tutorials folders. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll basically move this file1 inside this Linux tutorials directory. Okay, so I'll just write over here mv stands for move, and then the file name. So file name is file1.txt, and then I'll write the path or the folder in which I want to move it. Okay, so the folder name is Linux, right? So I'll write Linux tutorials and then click enter. Okay, the file is already moved. Okay, so I can just minimize this part and you can see over here in my desktop there is only file 2 and file merge. There is no file 1. Okay, so now if I go to my Linux tutorials directory, let me just write it like this, and then I'll do an ls over here. So here you can see this file 1 is present inside this Linux tutorials folder. Okay, so now let me go back to my desktop directory. So this is my desktop directory. So now if I do ls over here, you will see only file 2 and file merge is present. Okay, this way I can move a file inside another folder. Okay, and similarly I can move the whole folder also inside another folder. Okay, first let me create an folder over here. I'll just create the folder with this command mkdir, and I'll write over here a new test folder. Okay, I'll add it like this and click enter. Here you can see in the desktop I have created this folder. Now what I'll do is I'll write move, and then I'll write the folder's name, and then I'll give a space, and then I'll give another folder name in which I want to move it. Okay, in this case I'll have to move it in the Linux folder. Okay, Linux tutorial, this folder. So I've given this Linux tutorial name and then click enter. Now here you can see the folder is moved already. That is why you cannot see it over here in the desktop. So I'll just go back to my Linux tutorials folder, and now I'll do an ls over here. Here you can see this new test folder is moved inside this Linux tutorials. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. Now let me go back to my desktop location. Let me open my VS Code also. Here you can see the next command is to rename a file or rename a folder. Okay, let me just show it to you. I'll just minimize this VS Code so that you can see the desktop screen as well. So I'll write it over here, mv, and the file name, or you can say the current file name. Here you can see I have this file merge written over here, correct? So I'll just write that file name over here, and I'll rename it to file 3. Okay, so I'll just write it like this, given space, and then I'll write a new name that I want to give it. Okay, I'll write it like this, file3.txt. Okay, and notice the desktop screen. When I click enter, you can see this file is renamed to file3.txt. Okay, this is how you rename a file. Also you can do the same thing for folders as well. So if I want to rename this Linux tutorials folder, I'll do the same thing. I'll write like this, mv, and then the folder name, that is Linux tutorials. And also notice one thing, here is this backslash. Okay, so what does this mean is, I already told you at the starting of this video that I cannot give space while I'm creating a folder. Okay, what it will do is it will basically create two separate folders. Okay, so to like nullify the effect, I can write this backslash, which is also called escape character. Okay, so it basically like escapes this space over here. It does not like, it basically ignores the space over here, and it is like creating it like a one folder. Okay, so that is why this backslash is given here. So now when I'm trying to rename a folder, first I'll give the current name of the folder and then give a space over here, and then I'll write a new name that I want to give to the folder. Okay, so I'll write it like this, only Linux I'm writing here. This is my new name of the folder. I'll click enter. Okay, now here you can see in the desktop screen the folder name is changed from Linux tutorials to only Linux. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. Now let me open my VS Code once again, and now let's move to the next part. So the next command is sort command. Okay, now what does this command do? It basically sorts the content. Okay, so like what does it sort? It basically sorts the contents of the file. Okay, let me just show it to you, then it will be clear. So if I just check the contents of the file 3 here, here you will see it has these 3 lines of code. Okay, so now if I write like this, sort, and then the file name, that is file3.txt, and click enter, you will see it sorted the file alphabetically. Okay, but here you can see it first sorted like the numbers first. Okay, so let me just give another example, then it will be clear. Let me open my nano editor and I'll edit my file 3. So here I'll just like delete whatever is written over here. After deleting, let me just write something randomly. I'll write Aditi, and then anything I'm writing just here, and then I'll give some numbers as well, and then again number, then 0, 4, and then maybe my channel's name, and I'm written something like this. Okay, so again I'll write some numbers and then alphabets mixed. Now I'll save this content and then I'll exit this file. So now if I check this file contents, so now here you see it's not sorted at all. Okay, it is like randomly that I wrote, it is in that order only. Now if I write like this, sort file3.txt and click enter, then you will see it's sorted alphabetically. Okay, but it gave the numbers first. Okay, like it first gave the numbers, you can see over here, like it basically sorted the numbers first and then it sorted all the alphabets like alphabetically in ascending order. Okay, and here also you can see the numbers, or you can say the contents which has numbers and alphabets all together. It basically ignored this alphabets part and it sorted according to the number. Like you can see, before 3 1 comes, correct? So that is why first it like sorted 13, then it sorted 32, and then it came to 54. Okay, so this is way it is sorting. But suppose you want to sort it in reverse order. Okay, like this is sorted in ascending order, correct? But you want to sort it in descending order. That time what you will do, it is very simple. You will write sort and give this symbol like minus, or you can say hyphen, and then small r. So r basically stands for reverse. Okay, and then you will give the file name. So I'll give my file name, which is file3.txt, and click enter. Now here you can see it is sorted in descending order. Okay, first the alphabets and then the numbers. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. So these are the two commands related to sort. You can check other commands also related to sort. So for that you just need to write man and then write sort. So it will open the manual and here are a bunch of commands you can use from here. Okay, so now let's move to the next command. Let me just quit this manual. Just increase the font size a bit. Now the next command is head. Okay, head and tail go side by side, you can say. Head means that if I use this command, it will show the first 10 line of the contents, or you can say file content. Okay, so now let me just show it to you. If I write like this, head and then file3.txt and then enter, then you will see over here it only showed the first 10 lines. You can count over here: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and this 10. It basically showed the first 10 lines. Okay, but if I show you all the contents, you will see over here it had many other lines. Like it only showed till this line, right? Is this line, but it omitted this last line, that is the 13. It did not print 13. It is because it only shows the first 10 line. Okay, and the opposite goes with this tail command. If I write like this, tail then the file name, it will show 10 lines from the last. Okay, so if I now just click enter, here you can see it showed last 10 lines. Okay, it basically skipped this line, it skipped. Okay, this is the difference between these two commands. So now let's move to the next command. So the next command is xdg-open. So this is similar to open in like Mac, you can say. What does this command do is it basically opens a file or a folder. Okay, let me just show it to you. If I write like this, xdg then hyphen open, and let me just type a file, then file will be something like this, file3.txt, which will basically open in the inbuilt text editor. Okay, so let me just click enter. then you will see it is opening in the text editor. Okay, let me just wait for a few seconds. Now here you can see this is my Linux text editor. So this is the screen. So here you can see it opened the text editor for me. Okay, I can do like this, like if I just go to this file and double click on it, or if I just click enter, then you will see it open this file for me. Like this is the file one, right? Basically open that for me. You can see these are the two tabs over here. So this is the content of this file 2. It has file 1 written inside, and this is the one I opened with this Linux terminal. Okay, so this is how you open a file. Let me just close this now and open a folder with this command. Okay, I'll write xdg-open and let me open this Linux folder. Okay, so I'll just write Linux and click enter. Now you will see it will open this Linux folder for me. This is the folder you can see. Inside this folder I have these files and folders inside it. Open this folder, so you can see the location over here also. Like it's inside my home, then desktop, and then this is the folder. Okay, so this is how you can open anything from this terminal. Okay, now let's move to the next part. The next command here you can see is history. Okay, so it is very obvious from the name only. If I write like this, history, and click enter, here you can see all the commands are written over here. Even the number is given. Like this is the number associated with this command. Okay, so I can like access this command with the help of this number. Okay, and also you can see it is given the time and the date and time. Okay, this is the date and this is the time. This is given in this format. That is because I have set it in that format. But in your case, if you write history, it will not show like this. It will show only this numbers and only this command. It will not show the date and time. Okay, so why is this? I'll just show it to you. So here you can see, like you can write this history and it will give all the commands that you used. Also you can use, let me just clear this screen. Also you can use this control R command. Okay, so what it will do is when you click control R, it will suggest, like suppose you forgot whole command and you only remember a part of the command. Okay, so in that case what you can do is you can type that part of the command and this terminal will suggest you with options. Okay, and it will show whole command and you can simply click on enter and it will run the command. Okay, let me just show it to you. If I click control R, here you can see it is given this like what to say, this colon, and after colon if I just type, suppose I do not remember the command for opening a file. Okay, I only remember open. I'll write over here open. Now here you can see it is suggesting me this. If I now just click enter, then it wrote the command for me and then it opened the file for me. Like it first written the command and then it executed it. Okay, similarly I can do for my file also, or any command I can run like this. Okay, let me just show you another example. If I write like control R, it gave this colon symbol. So here let me write suppose nano. Okay, so now if I just click enter, it will open my nano editor and here I can edit that. Okay, so this is how you use this control R shortcut to search a previously written or used command. Okay, now let's move to the next part. I mistakenly closed this and let me just open the VS Code once again. Okay, so now let's go to the next command. Let me just scroll down. Okay, so the next command is like this. So I just now told you that I can use the history command. Like if I write history like this, you just now saw these numbers, right? I can use this number to execute a command. Okay, suppose let me use this one. Like if I want to run this command, okay, so what I will do is I'll use this 606 number. Okay, but before writing that number, I need to give this exclamation sign. So this exclamation sign is called single bang. Okay, if I write like this bang symbol and then give the number that is 606 and click enter, then you will see it, like it first written the code, then it executed the code. So here you can see it opened the editor for me. Okay, so this is how you can use this numbers also to execute a certain command. Okay, So I showed you two ways. First one is this like the control R option, that is it will suggest you the commands, and second one is by using this bang command. Okay, using this bang command you can use these numbers to execute a certain line of command. Okay, Linux command. Now let's go to the next part. The next part is this one. So this is basically used to you can say set the history in date and time format. Okay, so this is the format that is set in my case. You can see over here. So while you will be typing history, it will not show this date and time. Okay, I have set that manually. So here you can see if I just write like this, hist time format, then equal sign, and then within this inverted comma, double inverted comma, I'll write percentage symbol, and then write the year for capital, that is capital Y is for year, and then hyphen, again this percentage symbol, and then I'll write the month, that is in small m, that is in lowercase for month, and then I'll write percentage d, that is for day, that is also in small case or you can say lowercase, and then give a space, and then I'll write percentage t. T is in caps that is stands for time. Okay, now I'll give another space. Let me give a few more space over here. Then I'll close my double inverted commas, and then I'll click enter. Okay, now I'll just run this history command and click enter. Now here you can see this date and time format is showing, like this history is showing in this date and time format. And also notice one thing, I gave multiple space after time, correct? So that space is like showing over here. Okay, so how much space you give in that what to say, this part, like let me just write it once again. So this part, it will show this much space while you run this history command. Okay, so suppose let me just remove this single space from here and give multiple space here, and I'll give space before this date also. Okay, and then I'll click enter, and now if I run my history command, you can see lots of space is given between this date and time. Okay, this way you can format this history part using this date and time format. Okay, but remember one thing, like if I close this window, like if I close this terminal session, this formatting will go away. Okay, and it will prevail the previous formatting only, like how it was formatted previously. Okay, in your case it will like show in the previous format, which is like it will not have this date and time format, but in my case it will have the date and time format, but this space will not be there. Okay, let me just close this and open it again and show it to you. I've closed my terminal, and I will use my shortcut key, that is Control Alt T, to open the terminal. So here my terminal is open, so I'll just split the screen. Now let me just increase the font size as well. Now if I type here history, you will see the previous formatting is prevailing. Okay, and the last format is not showing here. Okay, that is because I did not do the changes, like the settings in my bash file. Okay, like to keep the changes you need to edit in the bash file. Okay, so from where you will get the bash file, let me just write it over here. It will be in the root directory. So to access the root directory, you need to write like this, and then give this slash, and then the file name is .bashrc. Okay, now if I click enter, okay, this is giving me error. That is because I am logged into this user, and I need admin privileges to edit this file. Okay, I'll just write sudo, and then I'll write my previous command, that is this root directory, and then the file name, that is bashrc file, and then click enter. So now it is asking me for admin like admin password. So let me just give the password here and then click enter. I'm really sorry, this will not work. That is because I did not mention any command, like what I want to do with this command. I did not mention that. For that, I'll just write again the previous command, and I'll just open my nano editor, This will basically open this file in my nano editor. Okay, so I'll just click enter again. So here you can see this is the bash file in which you need to edit. Okay, now notice one thing here, this line, you need to add this line inside your bash file. Okay, so I already added this, that is why the changes were prevailing in my case. I'll just remove this for now. And also remember, for editing in this nano editor, you need to use your arrow keys to go to a certain line. Okay, like I cannot keep my cursor here and then edit it. I need to use my arrow keys here. So let me just delete this line. So it is deleted, and now let me just save this file, Control S, and I'll quit this file. And now I'll have to restart my terminal. Okay, like if I just now write this history here, you will see it will not show the changes. Okay, so it is in the same format only. So to make the changes, or you can say to effect the changes, I'll just close this terminal and open it once again. Okay, now my terminal is open, and now let me just write here history and click enter. So now here you will see this is the way it will show in your case. Okay, like there will be no date and time format. It will show these numbers and then it will show the commands. Okay, if you want to change this to date and time format, we can open that bash file and edit that. Okay, so let me just open that bash file. So I'll just use this command and I'll give my password here, and it will open this editor for me. Let me just increase my font size. Here you can see if I write like this, let me bring the cursor here, and I'll write here hist time format and then equal sign. Then I'll give a two space over here, and then I'll write percentage y, percentage month, and then percentage d. Okay, and then I'll give another space here, and then I'll write percentage t for time, and then I'll give two more space here, and then close the double inverted commas, and then save the file with Control S, and then exit this nano editor. Okay, so now let me just run this history command here. It will not run, that is because I did not restart this session. Let me just close this and reopen it once again. Now let me just increase the font size once again. So now here if I write history, you will see it will show in this format. Okay, so this is the format I gave in the bash file, so it is prevailing in this format only. Okay, I hope this was clear to you, like how to set the history in date and time format. So now let's move to the next part. Let me just clear the screen. Okay, so the next command is space and then any command. Okay, so if I just write like this, suppose let me write ls here, and if I click enter, it will list all the directories, right? Now if I just give a space here and write ls space -l and then click enter, it will run this command, right? But if I check the history now and click enter, you will see it has ls command there, but it does not have ls space -l command. That is because when I use space before any command, that command will not get stored in the history. Okay, so if I show you another example, suppose I am using this command, I'll just write space here, then I'll write cd desktop. Okay, and click enter. It came to this desktop location here, you can see. And now if I write cd without space, and then I'll give my Linux directories command, and then I'll click enter. So it came to my Linux directory now. And now if I just run my history command here and click enter, you will see it only has this Linux like cd Linux command, and it does not have that cd desktop command. Okay, this way you can hide any command from the history. Okay, so it is very useful if you want to like save any password, or if you want to give any command which you do not want be discovered by any other user in the history. Okay, so that time you can use this technique or command. Okay, it will work in any command. Like if you give space and write any command, it will work for that command. Okay, now let's move to the next. Free command basically shows you the memory space that you have in your system. Okay, let me just show it to you. So I'll just clear this and I'll write free. Okay, and when I click enter, you will see it will show the total memory. Like this is the size in blocks. Okay, so if you want to see the size in your human readable format, then you can write like this: free and then -h. Okay, and click enter. Now you can see here the total size is 1.5 gigabytes, and then the used is 899 and free is 62. Okay, so this is how you can see how much space is there in your memory, or you can say in the system. Okay, also there is another command which is the next one. Here you can see that is the df command. The df command basically does the same thing, but it basically shows the memory space or disk space that you have in your current location. Okay, let me just write it over here. Now if I write df and click enter, you will see this is the file system. It has these type of locations and folders and directories, and it has this size. Okay, it is, you can see over here, it is in 1k block size. Okay, and this is the size it is showing, which is used up, and this is available size, like this part, and it is showing where it is mounted on. Okay, it will basically show all the size of this current file system. Okay, now if I write just df and space -a, a basically stands for all. It will basically show all the spaces, like the disk spaces of all the file system that is present in your system. Okay, so now just click enter. So here you will see these are all the file system that is present in your system, and it is showing the spaces of each and every file system here. Okay, so now I hope this was clear to you. Now the next part, the next command is -h or -h. It is similar to free -h. It basically shows the size in human readable format. Like this is in the block size. Okay, if I write like this df -h and click enter, you will see it is showing in megabytes, gigabytes, this way. Okay, like it is showing in the format in which the Windows operating system has, right? Like if you open the file manager of the Windows system, it will show you in a megabytes, gigabytes, like that, right? If you want to see the same thing in this Linux operating system, you will just have to write this -h. Okay. Also, if you want to see all the size, like all the file system size in this format, you will just have to write df -a -h. Okay, and then click enter. So here you can see it is in like megabytes and gigabytes format. Now moving to the next command. The next command is like to see whether an application is available in your system or not. Okay, so like if I want to see if I have Python installed in my system or not, I simply write the application name. So let me just write here Python. Python is the application name. Okay, and after that I'll give -v or -v and click enter. Here you can see this saying Python is not recognized. That is because I do not have Python installed here. I only have Python 3. Okay, and I can write like this also: Python space double hyphen, and then I'll write version. Okay, and if I click enter, it is showing the same thing. That is because I do not have installed. I'll just write same thing with Python 3. So I'll write here Python 3 and click enter. Here you can see it is showing the version, like the version of the Python that is installed in my system. Okay, and similarly if I write only v, like -v and click enter, you can see it is showing everything. Like it is showing the Python environment over here. Okay, like you can see these three arrows. So this is the Python environment. If I write Python code over here, it will run. Okay, so if I write here print, so print is a Python syntax, right? If I write Python syntax here, and then inside that let me write hello world, sorry, spelling mistake, hello world, and then close this and click enter, you will see it will print hello world over here. That is because it can execute this print statement. That is only because it is inside the Python environment over here. And now to exit this environment, I'll simply click Ctrl D. You can see it exited this, like it is showing this cleanup, destroy. So it basically stopped all the Python programs that is running at the back end. Okay. So now I'm back in my Linux terminal. Okay. And if I do not have the particular application installed in my system, it will basically show the command which showed at the beginning, right? Like when I was using this command, it was showing this command not found. So it will understand that the application is not installed in your system. Okay. So now the next command is sudo command. Okay, like this is the sudo command. I already told you that it basically gives temporary admin privileges. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll basically use this sudo command along with this update command to update the system. Okay, this basically updates your system. Like if I write here sudo and then apt-get. Apt-get is nothing but, you can say, it's a tool which basically goes to the system library and fetches some packages, okay, and installs a certain a certain package which will be mentioned after this command. Okay, like if I want to install anything, I'll write like this. I'll write sudo and then this tool, and then I'll write install. Install is the command, like what I want to do, that is the command, and then I'll mention the package name. If I write the package name, suppose I want to install Vim, so I'll write this package name. This is the package name Vim, and then when I click enter, this apt-get tool will go to my system library. It will basically fetch the Vim package from there. It will install it from me. Okay, this is what this apt-get commands does. This sudo basically gives the admin privileges, and after that, like this install is a command which will install the package. And similarly, there is another command called update. So when I write update here, let me just delete this and write update here, it will basically update my system. Okay, let me just click enter here. It will basically ask for my password, so I'll just give the password and click enter. Now you can see it is basically updating my system. Okay, so it will take a little time. So after the update is over, I'll just come back. Here you can see the update is over. So this is how you update the system with this command. Also, there is another command which is upgrade. Okay, so it is similar to update only, but this upgrade command, it basically upgrades the installed packages. Okay, here you can see upgrades installed packages. If I write like this, sudo apt-get and then write upgrade and click enter, it will basically read all the packages that is installed already in my system, and then it will basically upgrade those. Okay, it is basically asking for like, do you want to continue with this upgrade or not? Like you can see 81 upgraded. Okay, so these are the files it will update. Okay, and it was saying that need to get 71 MB archives. Okay, it will take some time to upgrade this, so that is why I'm not clicking on Y. I'll just click, like I will just write N for now, but in your case, if you want to upgrade it, you can simply write Y and then click enter, and it will upgrade the packages. Okay, here you can see it aborted this upgradation. Okay, now the next command is install. So I already told you how to install this. So I already have Python 3 installed in my machine. I'll show you how to install this Python 2 in your machine. Okay, so I'll simply write sudo, and always remember, if you are logged into any other user, then you should give this sudo command, or else it will not like allow you to install any packages. Okay, so I'll just write here sudo apt-get, and also this apt-get is, you can see, modified version of apt. Sometimes you will see it will only, if you write only apt, it will do the same thing, but the only difference is that when you write this apt-get command, it will basically show you a better way, like the progress bar will be shown, but if you write only apt, it will not show that. There is no other difference between this. Okay, so I'll just write apt-get and then I'll write install and then the package name. So you need to know the package name. Okay, so you can search the package name in Google and then you can type it over here. Okay, so I'll write Python 2 and then click enter. Okay, so it will basically go on installing this Python 2 for me. Now it is asking that if I want to continue with this installation or not. Here you can see it will take 16.2 MB of additional space if I want to install this Python 2 in my system. Okay, so I'll just click yes this time, like I'll write while and click enter. It's basically installing this packages you can see over here. So I'll fast forward this video until this installation is over. Now here you can see the Python is installed in my system. Now let me just check if I have the Python or not. Let me just write a version here and click enter. Sorry, this will be Python 2, not only Python. So I'll write Python 2. Here you can see it is showing the version. Previously it was not showing, correct? If I write Python 3 also here, Python 3 and then version and enter, you can see it is showing the Python 3 version as well. That is because I have these two versions inside my system. Okay, this is how you install an application. Okay, now moving to the next command. Also before moving, I just forgot to mention one thing. That is when I was showing you this command, right? That is HISTTIMEFORMAT, this command. So like the steps in which I change the bashrc file, you will find everything written at the end of this file. Okay, so here you can see I have written the steps over here, like how you can edit the file, like from where you will find those. I've written everything over here, so you can refer this and then do the changes. Also, there are other details that are written in this file, like how to use this Vim editor, then how to use nano editor. Everything is written at the end of this file. Okay, so you can download this file and go through them. If you face any problem, you can comment in the comment section, or you can directly email or even DM me in the Instagram handle as well. Okay, now moving to the next command. The next command is wget. Okay, so wget is basically a command with the help of which you can download anything from the internet. Okay, so here you can see the syntax. First you need to write this command, that is wget, and then the URL. Okay, let me just give you an example. So now if I write the command here, that is wget, and then I should type the URL, right? So I already have an URL, so I'll just type it over here, that is https:// then drive.google.com, and then I have a file which I want to download. Okay, so I'll give the file address over here, and after that I'll write ampersand sign, and then I'll write export equals download. Okay, you will get this URL, like you will have to find the URL on your own. Like suppose you want to download a file, then you need to write like this, like ampersand and then export equals download. Okay, that way you can download the file from the internet. Okay, also if you want to download an application from the internet or something like that, then there is an application URL given in the website, correct? You can basically copy that URL and paste it over here. That way you can download it from this terminal only, but it will download the file or the application from the internet. Okay, so after writing this, you'll have to just click enter and it will start the download, and it is saying that the output will be given in this wget log file. This is nothing but, you can see this file has the logs, like the output of this file. Like if it is downloaded successful, it will have that information in this file. If it is failed also, it will have that information in this file. So this is basically telling you that whatever the like status of the download will be, it will be directed or written in this file. Okay, if I just click enter again, you can see it is said done. That is, it basically downloaded the file. And also remember that like it will download the file in that location in which you are currently in. Okay, so here you can see I'm currently in this desktop location. If I just minimize this VS Code screen, here you will see this is the file. This is the file name, that is, you see then this one. This is the file name that is written over here. You can see basically downloaded this file in my desktop location. Okay, also there is another thing you can do with this, that is you can rename your file according to your choice. Okay, for that you can do one thing. You can simply write like this, and before executing this file you will have to before clicking on enter, you will have to write like this. You'll have to give space and then hyphen and then O, and after writing O, you will give the name you want to save it in. Okay, I'll just write it like what to say. I'll just write PDF file like this. Okay, and then give space and click enter. Okay, so it will again ask like if you want to save this file in this wget log2 file. I'll just click enter. Now the download is complete, and you can see here in the same location log2 file is also created, and this was created before, like when I was installing this the previous one. And you can see over here this file is the one which I installed, the latest one. So it has the name PDF file written over here. Okay, but previously it has something written over here, this name. Okay, I hope this was clear to you, like how you can download certain files and applications from the internet using this Linux terminal. Okay, now let me open my VS Code. Here is the command you can see. This is the command which you can download the file from the internet, and this is the command which we can use to rename a file. Okay, you can save the file in the name which you want to. Okay, so now let's move into the next command, that is how you can change the root password. Okay, so now I am currently in this Aditi user, correct? But if I want to go to the root user, I will not be able to switch that. That is because I did not initially change my root password. Okay, and there is like you do not know the default root password. That is why first you need to change the root password, and then you can switch to the root user. Okay, so now here what I will do is I will try to switch this Aditi user to my root user. Okay, for switching the account, I can use this command and then give the username, that is the root is the username, and click enter. Then it will ask for password. Okay, but I do not know the password. Like I am trying to log in to this root account for the first time. It will ask the password, and there is no password for first time. Okay, so that is why you need to first change your password. I'll basically abort this function, and then I'll just first change the password. To change the password, you can see over here, this is the syntax. Okay, so what is it? It is like first we need to give the admin privileges by using this sudo command, and after that this is the command to change the password, that is passwd. Okay, and then we need to give the user for which we want to change the password. Okay, I'll write it over here, sudo and then passwd password, and then the pass like the user. If I want to change password for Aditi, then I'll give here Aditi. Okay, and click enter. It will ask the current password, so I'll give the current password here and click enter. So now it will ask for new password. I can change the password like this, but I do not want to change the password for Aditi, so I'll just abort this. I'll simply click Ctrl D. Here you can see it aborted the like function. Password change has been aborted. So now I'll change the password for root. So I'll simply write over here root and click enter. Now here you can see did not ask the current password. That is because the current password is not present for root. Okay, there is no password, like there is no default password for root. Okay, that's why I directly gave the asking for the prompt, that is the new password. Okay, I'll give the new password here. So I'll give the new password over here and click enter. It is saying that password, that is because it is not meeting the criteria. That is, it should have characters, numbers, and alphabets mixture, and it should be of 8 digits character. So you can see over here it is shorter than 8 characters. Also, there should be capital letter included in the password. That is why it is saying that password, but it will not stop you from creating password. It is just saying that the password is not strong. Okay, so I can proceed with the same password, and I'll just retype the password over here. And when I click enter, you can see it is saying password updated successfully. Okay, so now if I want to switch to root user, it will allow me to switch. Okay, so I'll just write over here that is the next command here. You can see that is su username. That is su stands for switch user. Okay, that is the command I'll write over here, su, and then the user is root. So I'll write root and click enter. Now it is asking for password, and this time I know the password because I already changed it, correct? I'll just provide the current password here and click enter. Now here you can see I am currently logged into my root directory, or you can say root user. So here you can see this is the username, this one, root user, and I'm currently in the root directory. How can I know that? That is when I was using Aditi as a user, and that time when I write like cd and click enter, it used to take me to the root user, right? Like root path. That time if I write pwd, you notice that the path was showing home Aditi like that, correct? Here also you can see I'm in the root directory over here. Okay, so now just click enter. You can see I'm in the root path. So I'll just now write pwd and enter. You can see it is showing root. Okay, this is how you can switch to the root user. Now I'll switch back to my Aditi user. So I'll just write Aditi over here and click enter. Here you can see I've switched back to my Aditi user. So let me just clear this screen and move to the next command. Here you can see I already told you about this password change command. Then there is another command which is called adduser. Okay, so you can see if I just now type over here, let me just go back to my root directory. This is the root directory. Now if I type here who and click enter, you will see I have only these two users. Okay, that is Aditi and this TY2. This is the system user, like this is the default user. So I only have currently one user, you can say. Okay, suppose I want to add multiple users. For that, what can I do is I can use this command, that is this add user command. Okay, so I'll just write it over here. First I'll have to give the admin privileges. So for that I'm writing sudo command, and after that I'll write add user. And after writing add user, I'll have to specify the username. Okay, so I'll write it over here as suppose Aditi 2. Okay, this is my second user, so I'll write Aditi 2 and click enter. So it will go on creating my second user. Here you can see it created the group ID and user ID for me. And after that it is asking for new password for Aditi 2 account. Okay, if I just now just give the password over here, I'm creating a new password here and then click enter. It's again saying bad password. That is because I gave the password like that. So now I'll just write my password again and click enter. Here you can see it is saying password updated successfully. Now it is asking for full name. Okay, so I'll just give here Aditi and write 2. Okay, and click enter. You can give this details, or if you do not want to give, simply click on enter. I'll just keep on going, clicking on enter. So now this is asking if the information is correct or not. So I'll just click Y and click enter. Now the second user is created for me. So now if I want to switch back to my second user, so what I can do is I'll write su for switch user and then write Aditi 2 and click enter. So it will ask for password. I'll just provide the password over here and click enter. So now here you can see I'm logged into this Aditi 2 user. Okay, this way you can basically create user and log into that user. Also you can delete this user as well. Okay, for that let me just go back to my previous user. I'll just write it over here su and Aditi and click enter. I'll provide my password over here. I'm again logged back to my Aditi user over here, you can see. So now next command is to delete the user. Okay, so here you can see delete user. So this is the command you can use to delete an user. I'll write here sudo del user, that is delete user, and then the username. So the username here you can see Aditi 2. Okay, and when I click enter, it will delete the user. Okay, but before deleting, let me just show you the users. Okay, for that I'll have to close this window. Like I have to go to my lock screen. So I'll just lock my window. And now I'll just click on this button over here. It will take me to the users page. Here you can see this is my lock screen. So it is basically this Ubuntu lock screen. So this has these two users, right? So this is my current user, like the default user that I'm using. and this is the user I created, like I created while doing this video, right? If I click on this and give password, it will log me into this second user. Okay, that is this is the you can say GUI version, graphical user interface version. This way you can like manually go to the whichever user you want. And the way I showed you is from the terminal. Like you can switch user by using the su command. Okay, I'll just log into my previous user only. So I'll just provide the password here and then click enter. It will basically take me to my this previous user, that is the Aditi user. It will take me to that. Okay, here you can see this is my like the current window that I was using. Let me just make this full screen. Okay, so now I'm back again with my full screen view. Now I'll delete this user too. Okay, so this is the command sudo del user Aditi, and this is the username. I click enter, it will see if it will remove all the related details associated with this user. Okay, like it will delete this group, it will remove this user and ID and everything from the system. Okay, so this is the way you delete an user. Okay, like user account. Okay, now the next command is su. Already told you about the su. Su is basically switching account, like switching username. Okay, so I'm not going through it once again. That is because I already told you about this. Now the next is sudo apt-cache search. Okay, so you remember I already told you that while installing something, you need to mention the package, right? Package name after the install command, right? So suppose you do not know the command, like the full package name, then you can do one thing. You can go to the package, like package search, and see if you have the package installed in your machine or not. Like what it does is it has a library of packages, okay, and it basically this apt-get tool fetches that package and then installs it, right? This is what this apt-cache method, or you can say command, does. Okay, so I'll just type it over here and I'll show it to you. I'll just write sudo and then apt-cache, and then I'll write search, and then I'll write the package name. Okay, suppose I want to see if I have anything named as vim package in my system. Okay, I'll just click enter and it will go on searching my package history. Okay, and wherever it will find this vim, it will show all the things that are present in my package library, you can say. Okay, so from here I can see which package I want to install, and then I can type that package name and then I can install it. Okay, but remember one thing, it only shows you the package name which is there in your system. Okay, it will not show packages which is not installed in your system. You can say this package is similar to .exe file or the execution file in your Windows operating system. Okay, like in Windows operating system, what you do, you basically go to a website and from there you install or download the exe file, and then when you double click on that exe file, it basically installs the application, correct? Similarly, here you need the package to install the application from there. Okay, so that is why you need to first install the package from your system, and then you will have to install the application from that package. Okay, I hope I was clear with this. Now moving to the next. Now the next command is grep command. Okay, or you can say grep command. This is basically, you can say it basically searches for a pattern in the file that you mentioned. Okay, like the full form of this grep is, you can say, global regular expression print. Okay, it basically searches for regular expression like the pattern which I will be mentioning over here, and it will search where? It will search in the file which is given over here. Okay, so I'll just show it in your terminal. So I'll clear this and then I'll write. But before doing this grep search, or I'll mention it as grep. Okay, before executing this grep command, I'll have to make a file. Okay, suppose I will create a file. I'll write nano and write aditi.txt. Okay, and this will be created in my root directory. Okay, that is because I'm currently in root directory, that is why. Okay, I'll click enter. Now inside this nano editor, I'll just write suppose what to say, pattern, pattern pattern 1, then I'll write pattern 2, and then I'll write patterns 3, then I'll write ABC, then I'll write ABCD, again AB only, then I'll write ABCDE. These are the patterns, correct? And I'll write some numbers as well. And then I'll click save and quit this file. So now if I want to search for a pattern, what can I do is I'll write like this. I'll write grep, then I'll provide the pattern. So I'll just write AB. Okay, this is the pattern I want to search. And in which file? In this Aditi file. Okay. So I'll write the file name over here, that is aditi.txt. Okay. And when I click enter, it basically prints the regular expression that it found in this Aditi file. Okay. That's why the full form is global regular expression print. Okay. And when I click enter, you will see it will show all the regular expressions that it found. Okay. These are all the things that was present in my aditi.txt file, correct? And it is highlighted this AB with red. Okay. It is basically a clearer for us to see or visualize patterns it found in these letters or words. Okay. So suppose next command, if I want to write something like this, instead of AD, I'll just write pattern, only pattern, like PETTER, not N. Okay. And then click enter, it will print all the patterns it found. Okay. This is very helpful if you have like long lines of code inside a file and you want to find certain word or certain syntax. That time it will be helpful to you. Okay. Now moving to the next command. Next command is htop, or you can say top. Basically this htop is the modified version of top, you can say. This htop basically shows you the system resources, you can say system resources or system processes that is running currently. Okay, you can say in the Windows operating system, you have seen the task manager, right? So the task manager is equivalent to this htop, you can say. Okay, this htop basically shows you what are the processes running inside your system, and it is shown in some colors and table format in a very visualistic way. Okay, but in the top command it is shown the task what are running, but it is not appealing to the eyes. So this is the only difference between these two, like htop and top. I'll just run the top command first and show it to you. If I write like this top and click enter, you will see these are all the processes that are running in my system. So this is the user, this is the process ID, that is the PID. There are many other details like the usage of this CPU and then memory and the time when it is running and all. Every detail is present over here. Okay, if I just go on scrolling, it will keep on running. Okay, like until I stop it manually. So I'll just stop it by clicking Ctrl C. Now here you can see my cursor is free. These are the processes that was running in my system. Okay. So similarly, if I use htop, you will see it will run these processes only, like it will show the processes running currently, but in a very appealing way, like it will have colors and all. Okay. I'll just click enter. Here you can see it is saying that htop is not found. That is because I did not install this htop. I'll just go ahead and use this command to install it. So here you can see if you do not know the package name also, you will get this type of suggestion. This is the package name, you can know from here also. I'll just write it like this: sudo apt-get and then install, then htop. Okay, and click enter. It will basically install this package for me. And once this is installed, then I'll run this htop command and show it to you. Okay. Now here you can see this package is installed for me. I'll just type the command, like I'll type htop and click enter. Now here you can see this is what I was talking about. It is more appealing to the eyes. Okay, like it is showing like this. You can see the CPU usage over here, then the memory, and this is all colorful. Okay, and it is very easy to visualize. Okay, and also it is same thing, like you need to write Ctrl C to exit this process. Okay, you can see my cursor is free and I'm back in my terminal. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. So now the next thing is, if you want to see like all the users that are present in your system, okay, it is saved in a file location. The file location is this, like etc, and then passwd. Okay, so if you go to this location, you will see all the users that are present in your system. I'll just write here cat and then etc and then write passwd. Okay, and when I click enter, here you can see these are all the users and every details are present over here. Okay, these are the user. You can see I've created this Aditi, and then the second one is Aditi 2 that I created off screen, like before running this command I created this Aditi 2 again, show you that all the users data we will be finding over here. Okay, although this is very haphazard, you can see over here, so you can just write like this, give this slash symbol and then write column and give space, then minus t is for tab, so it will basically show you in a column format. I just click enter. Now here you can see it's in column, much more clearer, so I'll just reduce my font size. Here you can see it is more clearer to you now. Okay, so this is where you can see this Aditi is the users. These are the two users, and the details is over here, like where these users are located, or you can see where it is mounted. Okay, so all the details are over here. I'll just increase my font size now. So this way you can see all the users. This is the location you can find there. Okay. Now moving to the next command. The next command is crontab. Crontab is useful when you want to run a scheduled task. Okay, task is nothing but a job, or you can say a command or a specific thing you want to do at a certain period of time. Okay, so there are two things like I would like you to know. That is, the first is the cron and the second is crontab. Okay, so first is cron. Okay, it's cron, and the second one is crontab. So many people get confused, like what are the difference between this cron and crontab. So cron you can say is the daemon, or daemon is mean you can say the process like which executes the crontab. So crontab you can say is a type of file in which we basically write the tasks, okay, that we want to execute. What this cron does is it basically takes this crontab file and executes the task. So this cron is responsible for executing the task. This crontab is responsible for storing the data inside it, or you can say storing the task inside it. It is type of file. Okay. Now let me show you both detail. So if I write here man and then cron and click enter, you will see it is saying it is a daemon to execute scheduled commands. Okay. And if I just exit this and write man crontab and click enter, you can see it is the maintains crontab files for individual users. You can say it is a type of file which basically has the details task, like the task is written inside this. Okay, because it is a command inside which we can like edit the files for the scheduling tasks. Okay, now I'm exiting this manual. Now let me show you like how you can create a crontab and execute the scheduled task. Okay, so there are three things you need to remember in case of this scheduled task or crontab. Okay, the first thing is where will you find the crontab files? Okay, for that you need to write like this: cat and etc, then crontab. Okay, crontab. This is the file location in where you can find the crontab file. Okay, so I'll just click enter. So here you can see this is the file. You can say like these have the definition, or you can say the guide how you can write a task inside a crontab file. Okay, here you can see note over here, like these are the first is the minute. Okay, like if you write the scheduled task, first you will write the minute, like what is the minute in which you want to start executing that file. Okay, so here you can see this, you can follow this arrow over here. First thing, this one is the minute. Second one is for hour. Okay, and hour is mentioned between 0 to 23. Likewise, minute is mentioned between 0 to 59. The third part is the day of the month. The day of the month has 1 to 31. So remember that February month has times 28 months, like 28 days, correct? That is why you can, that is why it is given here 1 to 31. Maximum day is given over here. Okay. So this is the third part. Like this is the third part. This is the second part. And the first part is this one. First part is for minute. Second part is for hour. And the third part is for day of the month. Okay. And the fourth part is for month. Like month is from 1 to 12. Okay. And the fifth is this week. Like which week you want. Like if it is Sunday, Monday or Tuesday, you can write like that. Like you can write a short form. Like for Sunday, you can write like this, sun. And for Monday, you can write mon like this. Or you can write a 0 to 6. Like Sunday stands for, like 0 stands for Sunday. Then 1 stands for Monday, like that. Okay. This is the way you define the scheduled task. Okay. After writing this minutes and everything, you need to write the task, like the task you want to perform. Okay. Let me give you an example and show it to you. This is the file location where the cron tabs are saved. Okay. Now, how will you see if there is any scheduled task present, like currently active or not? For that, you need to write this command, like the point written in this 88 point. Okay. I'll just write like this, crontab space -L. This will show all the cron tabs present, like the active scheduled tasks which are present. Okay. Just click enter. Here you can see nothing is present. That is why it is not showing anything over here. Okay. This is the cron tab file. Like if I open the cron tab in my nano editor, it will show this. This thing will be shown, like this whole thing. Okay. This part will be shown in your nano editor. Okay. And after this command, like after this line, we basically write the scheduled task. Okay. Here you can see nothing is present. So that is why it is not showing anything in this part. If I run this command, it is only showing this whole thing and everything is commented out. You can see this hash means comment. Okay. Nothing is active right now. So if you want to edit the crontab file, you can write this command, cron tab and then E. Okay, like -E, and click enter. It will open your nano editor. You did not need to write nano before that. It will automatically open nano. That is because I have already set the editor to nano. Okay, like if you first time execute, like let me just quit this. If you first time run this command like cron tab -E, it will ask for the default editor. Okay. That time I chose the number which is associated with my editor, and the second time it will not ask for the editor you want to edit in. It will directly open in that editor only. Okay. Now let me open the editor here. So here I want to schedule a task. What I can do is I can come down and I will provide the like you can see this is the format it is given over here. First I need to provide the month. Oh, sorry, first I need to provide the minute. Okay, I'll just write the minute over here. First let me check the current date. Okay, date and time. So for that I'll type here date. So you can see the current time is 12:16. So minute is 16, right? I'll just open the crontab editor. So now here I'll write at 16 minutes. Instead of 16, I'll write 17. That is after 1 minute. At 17 minutes, I want to execute a command. But for this, I do not want to write hours, month, day or anything, any other data. Okay. For that, I'll just write like this. I'll write star. Okay. After writing star, let me just write all the stars first. I'll have to write 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 stars. I've given 4 stars. After that, I want to write the command. What I'll do is I'll basically echo this is my first cron, and where I will save this echo, I'll save this in my a file. I'll just name that file as test.txt. Okay, and now I'll save this and exit this, and you can see date and the time. It is now 18, so it is not running now. So now I'll open the cron tab once again. So now I'll edit here. Okay, so I'll just write here, instead of 18, I'll write 20 here. Okay, at 20 minutes, I want to execute my this line of code. Okay, so now what it will do is it will create this test.txt in my directory. And after that, it will echo this line of code in my terminal. Okay, let me just save this and exit. Now let me see the date over here. It is 19 now. So let me just wait for 1 minute. Let me check the date once again. So it is still 19 and 48 seconds. 2 more seconds and you can see the file will be created over here. Let me run this date again. I did not create the file here. Let me just check what I did. Okay, now let me open my crontab editor and show it to you. Like I found the mistake that I made. So I'll just open my nano editor here. So here you can see I have mentioned the minutes, but I did not mention the hour. Okay, like I have given star in this part, right? Star is for like it will happen in every hour, every day, and every month, right? That is why when I'm giving star here, it will basically happen in the next hour, okay? But I want to happen it in this hour only. What is the hour now? You can see the time over here. It is 1:10. Okay. So I have to give the minutes here. Let me give the minutes as 12 over here. Sorry, I need to go down. I'll give the minutes as 12 here. And after that, the hour should be 1. Okay. That is because it's now 1:10 a.m. right? That is why I need to give 1 over here. And the rest is star. Okay, like this star is for DOM, that is the date of month, day of month. Next star is for this one, and the third star is for this one. Okay. And after that, I need to give the command. So if I give the command like this, it means that the output will be stored in this f1.txt file. Okay, this is what this line of syntax mean. Okay. Now note one thing, I have written here f1.txt, okay, but I am currently like I want this file to be created in other location. Then what can I do is I can simply write here, like if I go take my cursor here, I'll simply have to give the full path, okay, that is home, and then I'll give my root directory, that is Aditi, and after that desktop, and in the desktop I'll create this file, okay, but for now I'll keep the folder like the file in the root directory only. So I'll just delete this part and then click save, and let me just change this time also. I'll just change this time to 15, okay, and then click save and then exit. Now let me check the date here. It is 1:14:49 seconds. Let us wait for few more seconds and then I'll check the root directory. So if I do ls now, you will see no f1 file is created over here. So now it is 1:15 already. So let me just check the date here once again. It is 1:15 and then 15 seconds. So I'll do the ls once again. Now here you see the f1.txt file is created. Okay. So this is how you schedule a job to do a certain type of job at the same at a certain time. Okay. Now let me just see the contents of this f1 file. If I write there f1.txt and click enter, you can see this is what I wrote inside my cron job, right? This is my first cron. Okay. So I hope this was clear to you, like how to schedule a task using this crontab command. Okay. Now let's go back to my VS Code. These are the three commands you need to remember with this cron tab. Okay, the first one is like how you can check the file location of the cron tab. Second one is how can you check active crons, and the last one is like how will you edit the cron tab file. Okay, so I hope this was clear. Now the next command is tmux. Tmux stands for basically T is for terminal and mux is for multiplier. Okay, so as you can see over here, I have this one terminal open over here, right? But if I want to open another terminal, I have to create click on this plus icon. So if I just click on this, so here you can see it is opening two tabs over here. Okay, but it is not in the same window. Like it is in the same window, but it's like it's different, like it is not side by side, right? Or else if I want to open another like terminal, I'll have to click on Control Alt T, and it will open a new session for me. This is the new session over here, you can see. This way I can work side by side, okay, like creating two different sessions like this. But it is very, like you can say, not pleasant or not comfortable to work with, right? So this is where this tmux comes. This is also a package, you can say. So to install that package, you need to like write like this, like sudo and then apt-get and then tmux. Okay, if I just like write install also, install tmux. Okay, and if I just click enter, it will ask for password first, and then it will start installing the package. Okay, I have already installed this package, that is why it is showing that tmux is already the newest version in my case, but in your case it will just install it for you. Okay, so after this tmux is installed, you can simply type like this, like tmux, and when you hit enter, it will open this another window, you can see. So this is basically the tmux window. You can see like this, the green color like ribbon over here, so which you will understand that you are currently inside this tmux. Okay, and using this tmux, it is very easy to create two sessions in the same terminal window. Okay, also, there are few commands that is associated with this tmux. I have jotted down at the end of this file. So here you can see, if I just scroll down, these are the commands that are associated with this tmux. Okay, there are many more tmux commands. I've not listed them all. I've only noted the important ones. If you want to see other commands, you can go to the Google and search, or you can simply go like you can see the manual for tmux. Like after writing man tmux, it will show the manual, and there you can see the other commands also. Okay. The first command here, you can see like you are currently in the tmux window, right? If you want to go back to the Linux terminal, so you can use this command. Like you can directly use Control D, or you can use this Control B and then X. Okay. So remember one thing, like if you want to execute any command in this tmux, first you'll have to use this Control B. Okay. Like you can see in every line it is Control B, and after that other commands come. Like if you use this percentage sign, you can see you can open multiple window, or you can see multiple tab. Okay, similarly if you want to like switch between tabs, or you can circulate between tabs, in that case you can use this O command. Okay, like first you'll have to click Control plus B and then O. Okay, so let me just show you like how can I exit this tmux. So now I'm just clicking on Control D. Okay, here you can see it is given the status as exited. Okay, now if I again want to go back to my tmux, I'll just type like this tmux and click enter. I'm back again the tmux window, and here if I just first click on Control B and then click X, you can see it is asking that do you want to kill this pane. I'll just write yes, and see it got exited from the tmux. Okay. Similarly, suppose I want to exit, but I do not want to kill the terminal. Okay, like I do not want to kill the session. Here you can see basically exited, right? If I want to like keep the session, what I can do is first let me go back to my tmux, and here I'll just write Control B and then D. Okay, so D means detached. So here you can see it basically detached my what to say tmux session, but it did not kill the session. Okay. Now suppose you want to see the active sessions of the tmux. Okay, like the sessions which are active. For that you can use this command, like write like this tmux and then space ls. Okay, so ls basically stands for list. Basically it will list the active sessions. Okay, let me just now click enter. Here you can see it is saying one window, that is one session is active. Okay, also I can resume the session, like I told you how to detach the session, but I can resume the session as well. So how will I do that? I'll simply write tmux and then write attach and then hyphen session. Okay, now when I click enter, you will see it brought me to that previous session only. And how can I know that? You can see this is the number here, 0. So 0, this whatever is written inside this bracket, it is the name of the session. Okay, so suppose if I just exit this and open a named session. Okay, so how will I open a named session? If I just write only tmux, it will like create a session with 0, 1, 2 like that. Like if I just write like this tmux and click enter, here you can see it is created session with 0. Okay, and now let me just detach this and let me just open another session. I'll just write tmux and click enter. Now here you can see it is named as 1. Okay, let me just detach this as well. Now let me just see whatever sessions are active in my system. So I'll just write tmux ls and click enter. So here you can see these are the name, like 0 and then 1. These are the name of the session. And this is the information like how many windows are open in that session. Okay, and these are the details of like when was it created, like date and time is given over here. Okay, this is how you can check the sessions as well as like create, like detach the session and again open the session, like resume where you left off. Okay, but suppose you want to give the name to this session. Okay, so in that case what you can do is to create a named session you need to write like this. Okay, like first write tmux and then write new and then give this space and then hyphen s. Hyphen s means I'm giving a name to the session. Okay, so hyphen s and then give the name. So let me write name something like coding. Okay, and now when I click enter, you can see here I have entered the tmux window and the name is coding over here. Okay, now let me just detach my session here. Here you can see if I just tmux and do ls. So here you can see I have these two sessions already running, like 0 and 1. And after that I created this named session. Okay, and now suppose if I want to access this named session or I want to access some other session which are active. Okay, what I can do is, like if I just write like this tmux attach session and click enter, it will take me to the last session which was detached. Okay, like it is not taking me to the session number 1 or 0. Okay, but suppose I want to go back to my 0 session. What can I do is I'll simply detach this again and I can write like this. I'll write tmux attach session and then I'll just give a space and then write hyphen t. So t stands for target. Okay, so I want to tell this terminal that I should open tmux with a particular session. Okay, that is why I'm giving this hyphen t, and after that I'll write the session name. So if I want to open like session 1, I'll just write over here 1. Okay, and click enter. Now here you can see I am in session 1. Like this is the name of the session. I'm in that session currently. Okay, let me just detach this again. And suppose if I want to go back to my coding session. Okay, for that I'll just simply write here coding. Okay, and click enter. So here you can see I'm back again in this coding session. Okay, I'll just kill this session for now and I'll kill all the sessions for now. So I'll just open the session again. So I'll just open 1 and then kill that, and I'll open 0 also and I'll just kill that as well. Now if I just check my active sessions, you will see it is saying no server running on this one. It is basically saying that there is no active sessions currently present. Okay, so now these were all about like detaching and exiting the tmux and coming back to the terminal, right? So now let's see some functionalities that you can do inside tmux. Okay, for that I'll just open tmux here, and inside this I want to open two tabs. Okay, so to open two tabs, you can see over here it is shortcut is control B and then this symbol, that is the percentage symbol. Okay, so I'll do one thing, I'll just write here control B and then I'll use this percentage. So you can see two sessions are open, but see one, if I just use my arrow keys, like side arrow keys, to come back to my this first session, it will not take me to there. Okay, even I cannot point my cursor here and click, it will not take me to this first tab. Okay, so to go back to my first tab, there is another shortcut. The shortcut is this one, control B and then semicolon. Okay, so if I just write here control B and then semicolon, you can see my cursor is on the first tab. Okay, and also I can create multiple tabs. Like if I want to create tabs like up and down, not like side by side, I can do that as well. So for that I can use control B and then double quotation mark. Okay, so this is the command you can see over here, this last one. Okay, I'll just execute that one over here. I'll type control B and then write double quotation. So here you can see the tab is open below this first tab. Okay, now here you can see here are three tabs open, right? If I now click control B and semicolon, it is taking me to this tab. Okay, the cursor is going to the first tab. Again, if I do control B semicolon, it is coming back to this tab. It is not going to this second tab which is on my right hand side, right? So what can I do is I can use another command to circulate between all the tabs. Okay, so here you can see there is this green border over here which signifies that I am in which tab currently. Okay, now go to the other tabs, or you can see to circulate between the tabs, the shortcut key is O. Okay, I'll have to first click Control B and then O. Okay, let me just go back to my tmux and now I'll just click Control B O. So here you can see it took me to this the tab on the right hand side. Okay, if I again click on Control B O, it will circulate and come back to the first tab. If I do it again, it will come back to the last tab. Okay, so this is how you can circulate between all the tabs. Okay, and suppose you want to close a certain tab or the current tab, you can simply click on Control D. You can see this tab is closed. And if I go back to my previous tab, this one, so if I want to close this tab also, I can do that by Control D. Okay, so now remember one thing, like if I do the Control D once again, it will exit from this tmux, right? Because only one tab is only opened over here. Don't do that. Like if I just now type Control D, you can see it exited from the tmux and came to this terminal. Okay, now let me again open the tmux here. So here you can see I have gone through all the commands that are useful in this tmux. There are many other commands. You can just go in the Google or you can check the manual itself and see which command is useful to you. You can use that. Okay. Also remember one thing, like if I try to open or start two different sessions in this particular window, it will allow you to do that. Okay. Like if I, let me give you an example. Suppose this tab has this Aditi user logged in, right? Now what I want to do is I'll open another tab. I simply use the shortcut that is Control B and then question mark. Sorry, that is the percentage sign. And I have opened and come to the second tab, right? I can switch user this side, but the user on the left hand side will not get switched. Okay, so I can basically open several sessions, or I can log into different users in the same window. Okay, what I can do is I can switch the user. So you remember what user, like which command I use to switch users, that is su command, and then I'll give the username here and then click enter. It is asking for password. I'll just give the password here and click enter again. So now here you can see I'm currently logged into this Aditi 2 user. Okay. If I just type here who am I and click enter, here you will see it is showing user 2. Okay. So now let me go back to my first terminal, that is Control B O, this one, and let me type here who am I and click enter. So here you will see it is saying Aditi. Okay, so this way you can basically run two users at a time in the same window. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. So let me just close the Aditi 2 tab, like this tab. I'll just type Control D. It has exited from this, like it has exited from this user and brought me to the Aditi user. And after that, I'll exit this one as well. So it has got closed. Now I'll exit this terminal as well. So I'll just write Control D. Okay. So now let's move to the next command. The next command is, let me see. Next command is wall command. So now what this wall command does is it basically sends broadcast message to all the Linux users. Okay, like whoever is logged into the system, everyone will get a message. Like it is a broadcast message. Okay, what I mean by broadcast message is like suppose I am the root user, or you can say I am the main server in a company, and the company has multiple employees, and each employee has a Linux machine, okay, like Linux operating system, and they are logged into the user account. Okay, now suppose I want to do some server maintenance or something like that, and I want to inform every Linux users that from this time to this time the server will be under maintenance. You should save your work and then go off to log off or something like that. Okay, I cannot go to individual users and like say it individually, right? For that, this wall command can be useful. Okay, what I mean is by this, like if I just go and check the manual for wall, then you will see over here it says write the message to all users. Okay, it basically displays a message on the screen. Like suppose I am sending from the root user, then every other users will get the same message. Okay, let me just show you an example that it will be easier for you. So let me go to the tmux. That is because if I try to log into different user from this terminal only, then I will be logged out from the current user, right? So I cannot do that over here. So that is why let me just open tmux here. So here I'll open another terminal window, or you can say terminal tab, and in this I'll switch my user. I'll just type it here user2, that is Aditi2, and click enter and provide my password over here. So I am now logged into my Aditi2 user over here. Okay. Now let me go back to my previous user or the current user. Okay, that is the Aditi user. Okay. Let me just go back. So here now I'm in first window. Now what I'll do is I'll use this wall message, like the wall command, and then the syntax is like this. Like first you'll have to write the command and then the message. Okay, here is the syntax you can see over here. First comes the command and then the message. After writing wall, I'll just write it over here. Hey, and then like this, and then close the inverted comma and click enter. As soon as I click enter, you can see on the other hand side, like in the Aditi 2 user tab, it is saying that broadcast message from Aditi. Okay, and the message is here. And you can see the cursor is not free over here. Okay, and you can see the broadcast message is sent to me as well. So here you can see I am getting this broadcast message. Okay. Now what can I do like to free the cursor? Like on the Aditi 2 user, my right hand side, you can see the cursor is not free, right? To free the cursor, what can I do is first let me go back to that window. Here I'll just type Control C. Okay, write Control C. You can see I am back with my terminal. Like I have exited this broadcast message part. My cursor is free. Okay. Now let me go back to my previous window. That is the first one. I'll just write this. Basically, this wall message or the wall command provides or sends message to every user. Okay, like whoever is logged into the system, everyone will get that broadcast message. Okay. Similarly, there is another command, that is write command. So the write command is basically does the same thing, but it is specific to a certain user. Okay, so if I just write over here, suppose I'm writing write, and then I need to provide the user ID. Okay, let me give the user ID Aditi2, and then I should give the message over here. Okay, so just I'm writing like this. Hey, this is Aditi. Okay, and I just close this inverted comma and click enter. Okay, so it was getting some error. That is because I already created Aditi 2 once and then I deleted it. And again, I have created Aditi 2. And while deleting, the root file has the information. Okay, that is why whenever I'm trying to log in and then again send a message to particular user, it is showing that the login, like the Aditi 2 is not logged in. Okay, so that is why I created another user, that is Aditi new, and then I have logged into this Aditi new. Now I am going to write a command. Okay, so I'll here you see if I write and then Aditi new and then click enter, you can see it is saying Aditi new has messages disabled. Okay, that is why this next command comes, that is this message, mesg message. So what does this command do actually? That is, if I like want to receive messages from any other user, then I can keep it as yes. If I do not want to receive any messages from any user, then I can keep it as no. Okay, so that is what it is saying, that the Aditi new has disabled the messages. Okay, so now let me go back to my Aditi new tab, and here let me check if what is the condition or what is the status of my message over here. Okay, and you can see over here, if I write mesg space hyphen small v, so small v here you can see stands for verbose. Okay, so that is, it shows what option is active now. By default message it has y option. Okay, but I was checking this thing, so that is why I kept it as n, that is no. So just now let me just show it to you what is the status right now. So if I just write mesg space hyphen v and click enter, then you will see it is n. So n means no. Okay, I can change it to yes also. So what I need to do is I'll simply write MESG and then Y. Okay, now when I click enter, it is now enabled. Okay, so now let me check the condition or the state, and I'll click enter. You can see it is now Y. Okay, now let me come back to the first tab. So here I'll try to write a message. So I'll write Aditi new. Okay, and click enter. Now you see it is saying message from Aditi. Okay, now you see it is saying dot dot dot. So it is saying that I can now send message. Okay, now both the users are connected right now. Okay, what I'll do is I have already came back to the first tab, and here I'll write hey, and click enter. You see it is showing hey. This is what this write command does. You can specifically send the message to a certain user. Okay, and the next one is this message. I already told you about that. You can change the option or the active state from n to y or y to n. First let me go to the second tab over here. So now let me just clear it. Now let me just show you how you can change it. I already showed you. I am showing it once again. So you just need to write this to check the status. It is y. Y means yes, it is active. And if I just want to change it from y to n, I'll just simply write mesg message space and then n. N for no and y for yes. Okay. If I write n and click enter, and now if I check the status, you will see it is n, that is no. Okay. So it will basically not receive any messages from any user. Okay. This is what it means. Now I'll just exit this tmux fully. So I'll just do Control D. Now the next command, like the next command is netstat. Okay, so netstat, you can understand that it basically shows you status of the network. Okay, like the network connections. If I just simply write over here netstat and click enter, you will see it is showing you all the processes or all the like everything what is connected to the internet. Okay, it is showing here. You can see it is connected, connected, connected. So all these are connected. Okay. Here you can see at the starting of this thing, you can see like all the name is given over here. All the state is also given, like whatever is connected, it is showing connected here. The node is given, the path is given, everything is given over here. So this way you can basically check like which all processes are connected to the network. Okay. Now this netstat gives details of the connected systems and routers. Okay, so you can use this ss commands also. Like it also gives the same thing, but it gives in a detailed way. Okay, so let me just show it to you. Let me just scroll down. And now let me just write here ss, okay, and click enter. Now here you see it gives a detailed view, okay, like if you go at the top of this thing, here you can see if I come at the top, here you can see it is giving the port as well, okay, and many other details are also given. Let me just go to the top here. Here you can see it is giving the peer address and the port as well, okay. It is more detailed way, okay, like it is giving the net ID also. Okay, so you can use this SS or netstat to give or get the network connection details or the routing tables details. Okay, now let me just clear this screen over here. And the next command is nslookup. Okay, it basically searches the information of the server, or you can say the IP address. Okay, so IP address is associated with DNS, right? Like DNS means domain name server. So every website or every URL has its own IP address, correct? But as we do not we cannot remember each and every IP address, so that is why this domain name system came, right? Like we cannot remember the IP address of youtube.com, right? But it is easier for us to remember youtube.com or google.com like that, correct? That is why when I use this nslookup, it basically gives information about a domain name system or DNS. Okay, let me just show you an example. First, let me take the man and show you how it basically gives, okay, or the manual, okay. Let me just click enter. So here you can see it is saying this nslookup command queries internet name server interactively, okay. This is the syntax. First, you need to write the command, and then you need to give the server name, or you can say the IP address, okay, or the DNS name, okay. Let me just quit this and show it to you. Ns lookup, and suppose let me write youtube.com, okay, and click enter. Now here you will see it is giving all the details of this youtube.com domain name, okay, like in which server it is associated, like the address of it, and all the other details are given over here. Okay, you can see the name over here, the address also, everything is written over here. Okay, similarly you can look up for google.com as well. If I write like this, ns lookup google.com and click enter, you will see it will give all the port and everything for the google like google.com also. Okay, so you can see the address is different over here. Okay, like it is 182.14, it is 77.174. Okay, so this way you can get each and every DNS details. Okay, there are many other network related commands, but I did not include it over here because it requires a separate video for that. I've only jotted down few of them. Like I have taught you the ping command and I command in the previous points, and in this I taught you netstat and nslookup. But I'll make a separate video for only Linux related network commands. Okay, so it has lots and lots of commands. I cannot complete all the commands in this one video. That is why I did not include them here. And now let's move to the next command. The next command is the alias. Okay, alias is nothing but you can say giving a name to something. Okay, that is called alias. Okay, so suppose I am writing something, like I have long lines of syntax. Okay, I do not want to write the whole syntax again and again. For that, what I can do is I can create alias for that. Okay, suppose let me show you one thing. If I write ls, it will show the list of all the things, all the files and folders, right? So now if I want to see the details of this files and folders, I have to write like this: ls space and then hyphen l, right? Then it will show the details of everything, right? But what if only ls would have given me the details as well? That would be better, right? We do not need to write this 2-3 words extra, right? For that, this alias command comes in hand. Okay, suppose you want to check what are the aliases present currently in your system. So for that, you just need to write like this: alias alias, and then click enter. And after you click enter, this is the file. You can see all the aliases are defined here. Okay, like if you just write grep, it will automatically give color to the whatever it will show. Okay, like if you remember when I was using this grep command, it automatically gave a red color. Okay, like it was giving red color and it was highlighting it, right? That is because I did not want to, like I did not have to write this color separately. It is already there in my alias. Okay. Similarly, you can see if I write ls, it is giving me auto color. That is, when I'm writing ls, it is coloring the folders different color and it is coloring the files a different color, right? I do not need to write like this. I can also add, like I can modify this ls alias with something else. Just to modify that or add another alias, we need to write like this. First, we need to give the command that is alias and then the name of which like you want to keep it as. Okay, suppose I want to keep the ls as list. Okay, so I'll write it the name as list and then I'll give equals and then I need to write the command which is already present. I want to replace that command, right? So I need to write the whole command there. So I'll just write ls and then give space and hyphen l. This will basically give the detailed list. And after that, I'll write double hyphen and then color equal auto. Okay. And after writing this, I'll close the inverted comma. Okay. And then I'll click enter. Now my alias is set. Okay. Now if I want to check, I'll just write like this alias and enter. Now here you can see this list has this whole thing written inside it. Okay. I can use this list command to write this whole thing. Okay, let me just show it to you. If I write like this list and click enter, you will see it is showing the detailed view and with the colors itself. Okay, now let me just clear this and show the alias once again. And now what I will do is, instead of adding this list as a separate, separate alias, what I will do is I will simply override this, like the last one. I'll simply override this one. Okay. What I'll do is I'll write alias and then I'll write ls equals and then I'll give the command that is ls and then I'll write l and then I'll give the color. Okay, auto. And now when I click enter and show you the alias, you will see this alias is being overridden. Okay, like here you can see it was previously only hyphen hyphen color auto, but this time it is minus l, like hyphen l and then hyphen hyphen color auto. Okay, now I can use this ls. I do not need to write ls space l. It will give the same thing, but I do not need to write that. Okay, if I just simply write ls and click enter, it will give the same result. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. And also you can unalias a certain command. Okay, like you can remove an alias also. Here you can see I have this alias created, right? Like this list alias created. What I can do is I can simply remove this. So to remove that, what I can do is I'll simply write unalias and then the alias name that I gave. Okay, that is list. Okay, and now when I click enter and let me show you the alias now. Here you will see the list alias is gone. Okay, that is because I deleted it. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. So please go through this document once and see if you were able to understand or not. There are explanation at the bottom of this file also, like how to create files and give the permissions to them and all. And then there are many other things like you can see over here, like for the first time log into root, the details are given over here, like how can you log in, and then other details are also there. You can just go through them and see. And if you require any other detailed explanation, then you can comment in the comment section. I will go through them and I'll try to make a document of that, and also I'll provide a video for that as well. Okay. And if you like my video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It basically motivates me. And also you can suggest me topics regarding which you want video. So I'll be happy to make video on that as well. So I'll be back again with another video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.